Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam delay. See, I was driving over the moon in my big hot air balloon, into the darkness. I hope I get there soon. There's so many things to do, so many people I need to talk to, and they've all been waiting for me. Well, I gotta make it through. Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam delay. Thank my stars forever be green. You have no idea what it means. No, no, to a man who's always traveling, who's seen the things that I've seen. I don't know what's yet to come, not sure of anything that I've done really makes that much a difference. Well, I hope it has for some. Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam delay. Well, I was driving over the moon, in my big hot air balloon, floating high up in the darkness. I promise that I'll make it to you very soon. Something special happened today.
What's up? What's up, good people? Welcome back. We in the building. Y'all saw the title. Y'all saw that horrific thumbnail. We about to get it in today. Like to welcome everybody back to the show. The Grown Man, right there, found it. Okay, the Grown Man Hour with your host Bernard Riley. Like to welcome everybody here. I haven't sent the link to my man Counselor Murry, but we about to get into this. We got a intricate, well plotted out, planned out show for you today. So hopefully you all will enjoy it. I'm trying to get the link situation together right now. I still be on the air trying to get it together, trying to piece it together. One day at a time. But I do like to thank everybody who made it in here today. I'd like to thank everybody who made it in here today. I'm trying to find my email so I could send him the email, send him the link through the email. And once I do that, I'll shout out to people that make it in bright and early, which a lot of you did. A lot of you made it in bright and early. I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who supports the show. I see a super chat already on the table. Let's see. Trying to send that link to Counselor Murray. There it is. The link is sent. All right. On to business. What's going on? Kill Deuce in the building. He says this one is going to be fire. I certainly think so. Said top of the AM, sent a super chat in. I appreciate that. Stoic One says peace BR and peace to the chat. SKC says yes, a real licensed counselor in the manosphere. Play nice, SKC, and get out of there. Coming in here bright and early on that fuckery. Get out of there. Ew, she catfished her son. I don't believe she catfished her son. I don't think that's possible. I don't think you can catfish your son. Out of all the things that's wrong with that picture, catfishing is not the no. That catfishing is the least of concerns and issues with that pic. That wasn't catfishing. He's well aware of what the hell his ratchet ass mammy look like. Friggin' filth in these pigs. Absolutely. Yes. Being extra provocative with the pigs. But we about to get into it. Cajun Raised in the building. What's going on? Syph Bud. What in the world is on this thumbnail? I mean, I got me thinking about taking that thumbnail down. It's so grotesque. But was being extra provocative. Y'all see Melody got the links right there. Hit the links. And most importantly, hit the like button on your way in. Make sure you do that. Mace Taggart in the building. What's going on, Mace Taggart? Lagonia Savage. I'm a savage. No, just playing. It's funny when a woman says she is savage. Anyway. What in the Kevin Durant tutu is going on in that pic? Kevin Durant tutu. I don't get the Kevin Durant tutu reference. Omega Dre's in the building. He says demonicacy. I think he said trying to say demonic and put like an ocracy on it. Is at full speed. How do you say democracy or Democrat and demonic and democracy and Democrat? How do you put those together? That I don't know. That's a daunting task that you tried to pull off there. I see what I can't say I see what you did there. I see what you tried to do there. I don't think you pulled it off. Demonic. There it is. The demonicacy. Demonicacy. That's a hard one. I see what you tried to do. I don't think you succeeded. Also, be prepared for wall purges night and make a pumpkin for Samuel equals Halloween. Okay, y'all on some bullshit. Okay, I see Counselor Murray down in the back chat. I see that. See Hood Servative in the building. Judge Zilla. The Mac the Trucker. Kevin Hart is dating Lizzo now. That's what I'm really scrolling down just to find some jokes on the thumbnail. See Silent Lamont in the building. I was looking for a good one and I found it. You said Kevin Hart. You said it's Kevin Hart and Lizzo. Yeah, found a good one. All right, without further ado, again, make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. But without further ado, we're gonna bring in the man of the hour, licensed therapist or counselor, to break down a lot of things, a lot of this fuckery, and we got some interesting stuff to get into here. So without further ado, Counselor Murray, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Bernard? You can hear me?
Oh yeah, I hear you just fine. Hear you just fine. Welcome to
I'm
the
on my
show.
old computer. I'm on
Oh
one of my
no,
old computers. I want to make sure it's working.
oh no, you sound good. You sound good. You sound just fine. Sound just
Okay, cool,
fine.
cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we bounced around a number of topics when we was putting the show together, and we still might do some of those other ones. We might come back and do some of those other ones because it was some good ones in there, but we ended up going with this one. And an interesting thing is that if I understand it right, you said there's like a licensed therapist group that you're in, so to speak, where y'all talking about this type of
Yeah,
stuff amongst each other. Explain what's going
yeah.
on there.
Yes. I'm part of a group on Facebook. It's called Black
Mm-hmm.
Therapist Rock, kind of like
Oh,
Black
okay.
Girls Rock, but Black
Mm-hmm.
Therapist Rock. They kind of
Yeah.
switched it up, and yeah. So I kind of presented them with that Angela Simmons picture, and I wanted to see their response to it, being you know degreed PhDs, licensed. I wanted to see if they will fall in line with the ratchet behaviors. So I did a little
Mm-hmm.
experiment.
Yeah.
And I mean the responses were kind of I kind of knew what was going on, but until I read the responses, it kind of hit me kind of with reality, like, wow, this is what's going on out here. You know, before we get into that, you got that picture of, was it
Which
Angela
one?
Simmons?
The Angela Simmons one? Yeah, just give me a second.
Yeah,
Give me a second. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pulling. Hold on. Wait. No, I got to drop down here.
yeah.
Should
Because
be
the reason I
there.
even did the experiment was because of a Facebook post before that. I'm gonna talk about that first.
Okay. Hold on. I think you're looking for this picture here. Shite. Come on, pop up. My computer is acting like it's on some plantation wireless right now. Well, no, it's moving. It's just the picture is not popping up when I'm clicking on it. It should be okay. Now that one to pop up. Okay, there it is. I see it. So I think you're talking about the Angela Simmons picture with her son, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure we talking about the same thing. Okay, I got it here. Let's see. Y'all can't see it yet. Let me get y'all together.
Brother Sir Tice, appreciate that.
Oh shit, hold on. This ain't it. That ain't what I wanted to see or what I wanted y'all to see. Let's remove that.
hmm
I got too
First
many.
of that thumbnail, man. I mean, wow.
Uh
Uh, I hope somebody tells me that's photoshopped, or that's a midget, or that's like
huh.
I hope somebody debunks that picture, man. I hope it's like a gay girl or something, man.
Yeah, that's okay. Hopefully, no. Okay, y'all look like we got it. So this is what you
There we
was
go.
getting at. Do you want to
Okay.
read what it said there or no?
Yeah, it's cool right there. And go down. So yeah, this is the picture I presented in the therapy group I'm in, and I wanted to see how, because in this group it's mostly female, because mostly females are in the field I'm in, social work, therapy, stuff like that. So they present a lot of black male, dysfunction in that group. So they, as professionals, they will come at black men. So I'm one of the only ones in that group who will, combat them and push back, present pushback on them, like we like to
Mm-hmm.
call it. And it's to the point. I mean, it's like I might have to even kind of lay low a little bit because they will come after your profession. They'll come at your job. They will come at your license. I'm telling you, they will try to find out who you are and
Just for
call
just
the
for
license.
just for giving pushback against what they're saying.
Yes, sir. I'm telling you, man. If you give pushback, they will gang up on you and they will find out where you work. They will call your work and send screenshot stuff and send it to you. I mean, send it to your employer to try to take away your livelihood and the way you make money just because you disagree with them on a subject. This is how deep it is, man. I'm telling you, it's like
So within that group, so do you feel like it's a lot of them getting together, hiding behind their degree or license or whatever to basically just let's come in here and just kick dirt on black men on this issue and that issue and that issue. And I mean, it sounds like is that to some degree what's going on some topics that y'all discuss?
yes, they will present a topic, um, usually something they find in the media, and like you say, men and women on both sides kind of do the same. We'll
Mm-hmm.
find one video and kind of generalize the whole race off of it. That's something that
Right.
we do. I mean,
Yeah.
even we
Yep.
do it, so I can't even say they're wrong about it. But the bias and the amount of times they post something is just out of hand. And there's some black men therapists in the group too, and they kind of pander to it and kind of just side with the women without even putting any thought
Yeah.
into what's going on. Or, I mean, to me, I'm a black man first, so I'm going to defend black men. If I believe the whole population is not doing what they're saying in that post, I'm gonna come in the comments and I'm gonna state my rebuttal. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was before I presented this picture to the group, um, a friend of mine on Facebook posted this picture and said, or oh, he posted a meme of this photo, and it
Mm-hmm.
said pretty much, "Are they reaching when it comes to sexualizing children?" And so I went in the comment section to read, and it was I mean, the responses were crazy. I mean, the women were pretty much defending what was going on. They were calling the dude out for whoever said it. They were saying it was a reach. They were reaching. They were reaching. So I came in that comment section, and I said, "Okay, let's flip the script." I said, he's not reaching. Whoever made the meme. I said, imagine if a daughter had her hand next to a man's genitals, and the man posted, and in the picture right there, you can't see her caption. So her caption kind of made even worse. She
Uh-huh.
said something about, oh, he's such a boy. I told him to stop, but he's such a boy. I can't. I don't know if verbatim, but
Mm-hmm.
so I said, what if a man did that and said, she's such a girl. I told her
Or
to
no,
stop.
or said she's so fast or something like that. Yeah, that's how girls get typically called, that little fast ass girl or something like that. If a father was saying that about his daughter when her hand was by his crotch, I told her to stop. Oh man, yeah, it's that he'd be in jail before lunch. Like he wouldn't even make it if he posted that shit at noon. He wouldn't make it to 6 p.m. I guarantee.
Exactly. Yeah. Imagine if Little Boosie did something like that. Come
Yeah,
on,
he,
man.
he would not
Little
make it
Boosie
to
would be
six
banned from
p.m.
Instagram.
Not a chance. Not a chance. It'll be over.
Exactly. So the person who posted this picture, they didn't post the caption she wrote. So I went into the post and I said, no, I posted the real pic. I said, read that caption. Because somebody I knew from high school was asking me why would I say that, and she didn't read that anywhere. And I said, okay, here's the real picture. This is what she said, because Simmons said, he's being such a boy. Crickets. I hear nothing from her since then, right? So what happened was a little bit after I posted that, the whole post went down. So I don't know if when I posted the real picture, maybe somebody bullied him into erasing it, or somebody flagged it, or maybe she dropped her comment off. I mean, I don't know what happened, but I noticed, like I said, they're kind of like agents to me, because when you present material that goes against their agenda, they just delete it or block you or erase it, you know. And what happened after that was I said, you know what, I want to do an experiment, because the people on that particular post, I don't know who they were. I don't know if they're professional, not professional, this, that, and the third. And I wanted to see if there was a difference between the mindsets of, the super educated degree people versus, the ratchets.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if there was a different mindset, And when I say, just for a disclaimer wise, when I say, hold on, when I say super degreed, you know, with me, what I believe is, in our culture, we value having things, like, but we don't value what we do with it. Let me explain. I have a degree, right? We all people always, I have a degree, that, this, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you have, it's what you doing with it.
Oh.
What are you doing with that degree? Because I know people with GEDs that make more than people with PhDs. You know what I mean? So and I know people who are super intelligent but are broke, because they don't know how to they don't know what to they don't know how to they don't know what to do with that intelligence to build anything with it. So, like, when people say, I'm educated, you know, I'm educated in psychology and as a counselor, but I'm not gonna go. If I hire somebody to do some plumbing, I'm not gonna go in there and try to tell him what to do, or her, because they're educated in plumbing. So just because you
Mm-hmm.
educated in something doesn't mean you're this intelligent being that can override anybody else's thoughts and everybody else's ideologies and stuff. You know.
Right. Right. Yeah, it'd be a lot of that going on, where people, think they education is an end all be all, trump card over life, no matter what the topic is. So yeah, I don't like that either. I don't like that either. But yeah,
And for example, like I said, our culture is we have something, right? So you'll see people post like, I have good credit, right? Okay, you
mm-hmm.
bragging about your credit, but what are you doing with it? No one educates nobody on what to do with it. Or I never had or they say, they try to say they try to tell you, never go bankrupt, right? There's actually benefits of going bankrupt in certain circumstances.
Oh
Look at
yeah.
Trump. He knows when to go bankrupt. We don't teach our people to the benefits of doing certain things. It just be the all be all. Never go bankrupt. Okay, never go bankrupt. Okay, but you might need to advance in another way. You
I know.
know,
I filed a bankruptcy before. It was one of the smartest things I did. It it
exactly.
it drastically helped my whole situation. I'm in better position right now because of that bankruptcy. So yeah, I know. Trust me.
Exactly.
Trust me, I know.
Exactly.
Real quick, hold your thought, cause my man, Male Enlightenment TV came through. Shout out to him. I just watched one of your recent videos because you did look like you're doing some shorter pre-recorded stuff. And man, you brought the heat on that one that I watched, like a 9-minute video. Forgot the name of it, but yeah, you definitely brought the heat on that one. He said, "I told you guys, leave these oats alone." They tripped me out with, man, how they got to pronounce shit, but I guess they gotta avoid that that YouTube algorithm. I don't care. I'll be reckless. I need to get into that game, being careful what I say. Their default setting is dysfunction. She brings chaos, confusion, and misery, and these dudes are dealing with it to get used up vag 80 other dudes already had. Shout out to Mel Enlightenment TV. Make sure y'all checking that brother out. He definitely killing it over there. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. Real quick, before we get back into the path you was going down here, like when I look at stuff like this, okay, because I just, you're gonna give you a professional breakdown of what's going on. Okay, this is where my mind go when I see this. How she said, how'd you say, oh, he's such a boy or whatever. Okay, let's just say this is where my mind go. It's very possible that he just organically just did that, not thinking about it. But it's not possible that he did that and they both happened to be properly posed for a picture looking at the camera. So that wasn't just some candid moment. You see what I'm saying? Like, if somebody just happened to catch a candid moment where a boy did that, and then she could just turn around and say, "This boy is out of control," ha ha, he, okay. But no. He either did it and she thought to herself, "Ooh, I need to get a picture of it. So let's so come here, son. Put your hand under my dress again. Cameraman, get right there. Okay." And then she got in her little, the little Instagram thought pose where they turn around and do the back shot, look over the shoulder thing, put on her little smiley face for the camera, posing for the camera, had her son come in and pose. I mean, I've taken pictures before. It's like, it's hard to catch that shot just instantly. So she had to get him back in position and pose him like that. And she had to pose like it had to be a deliberate thing to do that. Like, and I'm sitting there thinking like because of that, nobody can argue or justify this. Like I remember my my woman, for example. She babysits her nieces and nephews. And my woman, for lack of a better way to describe it, got a big booty. One of her nephews that's real young will run up to her and hit her on the butt. And then, it's like the whole, okay, stop the show. They gotta, she gotta sit them down and explain you can't do that. So it's possible that a boy could be just, I mean, I forgot how old he is. He's young enough to not know better. Put it like that. He's young enough to not know better. But this shit that we see in here is the equivalent of as if he hit her on the butt and then my woman said, "Oh, haha, that was funny. Wait, do it again," and had somebody pose with the camera while he slap her. So had somebody set up a camera and she bend over and pose while getting slapped, like on the butt. Like that's literally the equivalent of what had to happen. A well plotted out, thought out, let's pose just right. Let's get the shot just right. Let me look over my shoulder just right. Let me get my legs positioned just right. Let me spread my legs just right so his hand could fit under there just right. Okay, come here, son. Put your hand under my dress. Like it had to be like the degree of deliberate actions that have to take place in order to get that perfect shot that she got right there is sickening. It's sickening. So when you're talking about people, not just regular laymen's, but educated, licensed therapists who, based off what I saw in the emails, where they're caping for it. They're basically saying it's not a big deal. Like that's just mind blowing. It's mind blowing to even think about that, man. It blows. It just literally blows me away. Blows me away. But go ahead. Wherever you was going, go ahead and go there.
Uh, man, I was blown away. I mean, these are supposed to be my peers. We're supposed to be trying to, get out the importance of, protecting children. I mean, a lot of these people some of these people work for Child Protective Services, and some of the stuff I read, I was just like, whoa. Now, okay, I can explain some of this. You ever heard of Sigmund Freud?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, everybody heard of him, right? He's like the
Hmm.
godfather of psychoanalytic therapy, the godfather of psychology. He was
Yeah.
really into the sexual stages. So he had something called the psychosexual stages of development.
Hmm.
And if you don't understand it, you'll get stuck in some of these stages, and you will pretty much, if it's not corrected, you'll get stuck in some of these stages. So what you're seeing here, I don't know how old the kid is. He look like he's about 5, maybe. It looks like. So he's definitely in the phallic stage. So let's go through the stages. So you got the oral stage, you got the anal stage, the phallic stage, the latent stage, and the genital stage, right? Of psychosexual development. Now, what you're seeing on the screen right now in that other thumbnail is what's called the Oedipus. I forgot what the whole word was,
I think you're
complex or
trying to say
something like that.
Oedipus complex. I've heard of
Oedipus.
that. I don't know what that means, but I've heard the term Oedipus complex.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, complex. Yeah, pretty much Oedipus was like a Greek in Greek mythology. He was a character who slayed his dad, killed his father, um, so he can marry his mother. So when these kids, and I mean, I'm not saying this is all fact. This is Sigmund Freud's research. Put it on him. So he says around that stage, the opposite sex will go into competition with the same sex, which will be their dad if it's a boy, and their mom if it's a girl, for the opposite sex's attention, and he even said arousal. So what you're seeing here is Miss Simmons over here, right? Didn't her baby dad get killed or something? He got shot,
Uh,
right? In Atlanta.
yeah, I'll be behind on pop culture. I'm sorry. I don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
You got
yeah,
to lean
so
on the
she's a single
audience. If you don't, yeah,
mom.
go ahead.
She's a single mama. Yeah. So he got killed, right? So a lot of and a lot of these mothers are not really educated on the psychology of a child and the stages of development. You know, on a side note, when a kid is elementary school age, they claim or they try to impress and get the what's the word? They try to get the um anyway, they try to impress their parent, right? They try to impress their parents. They try to um man is the word. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, every move they make is to impress their parents in elementary school.
Hmm.
And when middle school hits and up, it's all about their peers. It's all about impressing their peers and trying to figure out where they're at in their social group. So that's why a lot of kids in elementary and early middle school, they get good grades because they see the impressions and the happiness that the parents feel. So they're trying to make their parents happy, right? So that's why you always get the teenagers um, in that age range, the teenage age range. They got a lot of conflict with their parents because they no longer trying to impress their parents. They trying to impress their peers now. So that's another developmental stage. But back to Freud. So the Oedipus complex. So the man in a lot of these households are not there because the man's the one that's supposed to keep that kid in check, keep the boy in check. You see what I'm saying? So the boy will be clinging to mom because she's the opposite sex, but the man is supposed to correct that. But in a lot of these households, there's no man to correct that. So, and the mother not understanding the the arousal or whatever, the kid just liking their mother. Not saying they like them sexually, but they just want to be around them. They don't correct it because they're feeling, because the mother feels love, like the child loves me. That's what they're feeling. They're not really thinking about the hormones and stuff going on in this kid's brain, and the reason why they're so clingy. So you have to set boundaries at that age. Now, I never said that what the kid was doing was wrong, right? I was saying the attention to addiction. I mean, the addiction to attention is what's the major point that I was trying to make here, and sexualizing the kid off her caption. So, like, you were right when you said that. Hey, I lost my thought. You were saying about the picture. Oh yeah, you were saying that this stuff happens, but why would you post it? And why is there a photographer there to capture it like that, right?
Yeah, why would you? Yeah, my assumption is that they had to reposition like that and hold the pose for the cameraman. So that's a whole nother shitstorm right there to even process that that she had to actually instruct her son to do that. Like that, he had to follow instruction to do. The first time, he probably just did it just to do it. But to get the cameraman ready with the camera out, ready to go to take the picture, and no, she had to instruct him to do it again. So that's what I was getting at.
You absolutely right. So, and when I presented it to the group, the therapist group, I specifically said attention is the addiction right here. And if you know about addictions can be anything as long as it's causing harm, or it's causing harm to you or somebody else, and you continue to do it. That's addiction right here. Her attention has put some type of harm on this child because he's being sexualized. She might not even thought she was doing it to be sexualized. I don't know. I think it was from what the caption said, but she doesn't understand the harm that she's putting for this kid. So now your addiction is harming this child right here, and it seems like she don't even care, or because I read some comments, and some comments was kind of coming at her, but she never like replied to any of it. So I don't know if this was I really don't know what her intentions was or what was going on with that whole situation. But wow,
That's
crazy. I
interesting
mean,
that when you presented it to you to the other therapists and whatnot, you just talked about just her addiction to attention, because it is an attention grab at the expense of her son. And so you just pointed it out that way and didn't even, it sounded like you didn't even focus on the actual act of what he was doing or what she was allowing and or instructing him to do. You sound like you didn't even focus on that. You just focus on addiction to attention, and they came at you.
Oh yeah. And that's what I was saying. Somebody a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if it was Obsidian or somebody, was saying that we have to start coming out of the shadows, with this red pill stuff. I see you cammed up with your name up there. I mean, somebody could just recognize you, and be like, Bernard Riley, oh, you be talking about this. So I've been experimenting on Facebook, and like I said, I might have to pull back a little bit because they might come at me. But in this group, I had to do the experiment, and I got a lot of backlash. I got a lot of pushback. I got a lot of, even in my inbox, I got some threats, so it feels like as a black man, you walk around and you can't say nothing against dysfunction. And a lot of times they will what's the word? They will defend dysfunction with dysfunction, and
Wait, hold on. Hold your thought
Whenever
on
you ready,
defend dysfunction.
go
Defend
ahead.
dysfunction with dysfunction. Look like somebody is saying so his arm is under her crotch. I'm like, okay, y'all can't see that. I think that should be very visible. I'm zoomed in now as much as I can. So I don't know if it's I don't know what y'all seeing on your screen, but yeah, I should be able to easily see that. I don't know how blew up the picture is. Let me see. I mean, it just should be quite clear. Hopefully, we ain't got a picture up and they can't
Boom.
exactly tell what's going on.
All of it, man. Who posted stuff like this, man?
But yeah, I
Who
should be
does
able to see what's going on there. Hopefully,
90,000 likes?
and Facebook gives the option to not. I mean, was it 90,000 likes or 90,000 reactions? Some of the reactions could have been the bad reactions. I do like how Facebook give you the option to put different emotions other than just like.
Oh, this was Instagram.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they don't give a either. Okay, yeah. Instagram
You hit
Instagram
that
don't
hard.
let you thumbs down it, but either way, they double tapped it. So then there's that. But anyway, you were saying defending dysfunction with the dysfunction. You was on that
Yeah,
point. I cut you off.
and I think, yeah, a lot of people are doing that these days. They'll say like, okay, let's go with the WAP song, right?
Mm-hmm.
So WAP song came out, and pretty much people were saying don't let your kids listen to it, which I agree with. And but we came up, we listened to 2 Live Crew, stuff like that, different things. There were some songs out there, what was the
Oh
song?
yeah.
Yeah, there's some songs out there. I ain't gonna sing them or nothing. There's some songs out there, and they were justifying like, well, you listen to this, why can't why can't they listen to that? And I'm saying, and my thought process was, you're defending something that happened to you dysfunctional with what's happening to the current generation that's dysfunctional. Why not fix,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is a good point. When I did a review of the movie Cooties, somebody inevitably came in the chat room and was like, well, what about this movie? Or what about that movie? I mean, they're naming movies that I never even heard. So I mean,
Yeah.
so you're telling me those ones were bad too? I mean, they just didn't come out in a social media age where everybody could comment on it. So it either you either liked it, watched it, or didn't like it. I mean, they brought up American Beauty, which did take a lot of criticism, but it wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
social media cancel culture back then. When Kevin Spacey was creeping on his daughter's friend. I think they was at least I think they were in high school. But either way, I mean,
Yeah.
she was 14 or 15, so there's that. And yeah, that movie was criticized for that aspect of it. It wasn't all about that, but that aspect of it did get greatly criticized. So I mean, but yeah, it was like dysfunctional shit. And by the way, I don't think the movie American Beauty was implying or trying to give off the message that what he was doing was okay, unlike Cuties, which I think did um at some moments directly, in some moments subliminally give off the message that ain't nothing wrong with what was happening there. I mean, just the camera. A lot of y'all didn't watch the movie. I watched it so y'all wouldn't have to. That was the title of the video. But yeah, the camera
I
angles
watched
and
it through you.
yeah, the camera angles and camera shots, the 3-minute dance clips with just them right on 11-year-old girls gyrating, camera
3 minutes. Oh
right
my.
at the ass. Like it was like they clearly was glorifying the bad behavior. Like so yeah, it was. So it was deliberately bad, but yeah, a lot of people did do the same thing that you're talking about here. They tried to find some other type of dysfunction that floated under the radar and say, well, what about this? This was bad 10 years ago. This was bad 20 years ago. It's like, no, that doesn't make it okay now because it was bad then. It's bad then, it's bad now.
Exactly. And as a people, I think as we move forward, we always need to improve what was going on before us. Like, if our parents did something that was dysfunctional, as a parent, maybe we should change that cycle, instead of saying, but a lot of people are scared to do that because, which I understand, we put our parents on this high pedestal. So we're not going to criticize our parents, So when our parents did stuff, some people's parents did stuff that was dysfunctional.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So just because they did it doesn't mean that you have to continue to do it. And I even think most parents want us to be better than them,
Yeah. Well, dang, I'm glad that you said that because well, another example of that, like for example, when Adrian Peterson, you remember when he spanked his kid,
Oh yeah,
and it made
right.
okay. And he had all those whelps and whips and on it. You could clearly tell the boy would have had to been bleeding, So I remember talking about that to people that I worked with, just regular guys, blue collar workers, and a guy who I think he was about 41, 42 at the time, and he was like, "Hey, those marks didn't look no different from what my daddy did to me," and so he didn't see nothing wrong with it, but it's like he didn't properly identify that. Well, maybe it was wrong when your daddy did it, and it's wrong when Adrian Peterson is doing it. You don't got to mark up a kid like that to impose some discipline. So it's a weird thing that we do where we try to find some moment in history where the same bullshit that we're trying to prevent today is happening now. Well, it happened then. Well, that don't make it okay. That's definitely a way we need to start looking at things.
Exactly. If we're going to, are we here to repeat the cycle? Or are we here to improve the cycle?
Mm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Where I want to go with this. Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah. So we can go to my therapy group. You want to go there and
Oh yeah.
see the responses of my post to them?
Mm.
The most educated. Let's see what let's see what their responses were to this.
Hold on, I'm trying to get
Let's
it.
see if I'm reaching.
Damn it. I can't get my screen to look right or act right. Hold on. Why ain't that moving?
That's cool though. So since I was blacking out the names, it came up on yours too?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I got it blacked out. I do got it blacked out.
Oh,
Just
okay.
give me a second. I got a
Uh,
blacked out version of it right now. What are we seeing? Okay, so let me find the images again. All right. Yep, I got it. So here we go. Excuse me. This is coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn it, that's the same shit. Hold on.
mm-hmm.
That ain't what I wanted. That ain't what I wanted. I got way too many windows up to where I can't even find what I'm looking for. I got too many windows up. Just give me a second. I got to get rid of some of this stuff some way, somehow. I don't need that. That's throwing me off. That's throwing me off. And that's throwing me off. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. I'm just closing down windows that I don't need up so I can stop getting confused about sharing. All right. Bear with me. Bear with me.
What
All
was
right.
I gonna say? Can I talk about the phallic stage while you're doing that?
Yeah, but I think I got. Yeah, you go
Pelvis
ahead and talk
stage?
about that. But I think I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
So
it's
the
just take.
development stage, or the psychosexual stages, if you get stuck in that stage, um, as an adult, pretty much what happens, you start to become sexual. You know, you're known as being sexual aggressive, and you're known to explore and do a lot of explore with different hypersexual things. And to me, it reminded me of you saw where his hand was, right?
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me. It kind of reminded me of when Trump said that. What he said, that everybody gets alarmed. So, hand on the P word. Pussy, whatever. So I'm like, you kind of raising these boys, to on a track of failure. Because eventually they might become sexual aggressive, and now they locked up for, what happened when what happened to them when they was kids. And like I said, most of the way people behave comes from trauma from their childhood. Like, people don't touch fire because they got traumatized by touching fire. So a lot of behaviors when you're an adult comes from childhood. Like, your childhood is the most important stages of your life. Even Freud said that after 11, um, after your genital stage, you never really develop after that. He cut the stages off right there. You know.
Mm. All right,
Yeah.
got the images up on the screen. I'm gonna zoom in so everybody can see what's going on a little better.
It's the Black Therapist Group.
Yeah,
All
y'all can
right,
see.
that's my real name. I don't really care. Y'all can have that.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put that on there. Some
Dox
people
me,
got
baby.
it.
Dox me, baby.
Yeah, my bad, my bad. I
You
mean,
straight? Straight? I
okay,
don't care. All right. I'm actually friends with some people in there anyway, so whatever.
okay.
All right. So that first person, right, that
Mhm.
posted, I actually
Now
know
they
her.
posted in response to you posting the image of Angela Simmons with her son hand under the dress or whatever, and then you just talked about how her her addiction to attention is what causes her to do that. And then these are the responses just for the new people that just came in and want to know what we're looking at here. This is the
Mhm.
responses from other licensed therapists in his black therapist group, if I understand it right. Yeah, black therapist. Yeah, it's called Black Therapist Rock. You got to be a therapist to get in. So these are all licensed, educated therapists in here. So just to
I'm
update
super
those that just made
educated.
it in. So what we got here?
We got okay, so the first person who you see those emojis from, I actually kind of know her. So she's used to me doing stuff like this. So she got out the way fast.
Uh,
She know when I post, it's gonna be something going against the masses, you know.
mm-hmm.
All right, so you got this next lady. So she says, I think kids and moms typically don't pay that much attention to physical boundaries. Looks like he's just holding to her for comfort without looking. That happens. So what I got from her was she automatically believed that I was trying to place blame on the little boy and his behaviors. I never said nothing about that kid's behaviors. I
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about Angela Simmons and the mother's behaviors, but she automatically went to blaming the boy. I don't see nothing wrong with his behaviors. I never said nothing about him, you know. So you got the next person. I've heard moms and dads make jokes like this when I was teaching, already defending dysfunction with dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
One dad kept calling his 4-year-old daughter a sexy girl. It was creepy, but I don't think his intentions would have been inappropriate. What? I mean, even if you don't think his intentions are, I mean, it still shouldn't be going on.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna call a 4-year-old sexy. I mean,
exactly.
that's kind
Exactly.
that's dysfunctional to me right there. So they're already coming in with she already threw a guy in there. Like, okay, a guy did this. So what's your next step?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of just
Mm.
acknowledging that Angela Simmons did something wrong, now the kid is magnified, and some random dude who I don't know is magnified.
Wow.
It's just, man, just crazy.
That's like bend over backwards. One, ignoring what you typed. Bend over backwards. Let's throw a guy under the bus. Let's basically make a men do it too argument. That's
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially what that was. That's a men do it too argument, and just try to deflect from the fuckery, defend dysfunction with the dysfunction. Shit. It looked like the same person coming back.
Yeah, me and her went through it, man. We had a little battle. Said she said to cut it out. Should she be hanging him by the pinky toe? Okay, so my thing with her is, okay, she did say cut it out, but my thing is, why are you posting it? That should be something personal, you know? That should be something between you and the kid. Okay, stop touching me here, keep it pushing. No, they had to get a photographer and say, hey, like you said, and make the scene up again.
Yeah, my analysis I think is not penetratable, because if he did it and she said cut it out, then what obviously had to happen after she told him to cut it out, even if she told him to cut it out a couple times, they had to get the cameraman there, had to pose for a picture. She had to get positioned just right and look over her shoulder for the picture while his hand was under there to get the perfect shot. You know, like that. In like if her face wasn't facing if she wasn't looking over her shoulder facing the camera with a pleasant, Instagram smile, then she could probably argue that it was a candid moment. But they both was looking eyes right on the lens of the camera, which means they posed. Like, no, so she can't. No, she can't say that I said this, I said that. I was like, cut it out, stop it, because I explained the situation where with my woman, how one of her nephews hit her on the butt. In order for her to get the shot, she would have to turn around, get the person set up with the camera, tell him to do it again, but hold his hand right there on her butt, and then post, oh, he slapped me on the butt. He's so managed. He's so this. He's so that. Like, it take work to get a perfect shot. Like, no,
exactly. And
it wasn't just a boy being a boy, and she told him to stop. Like, 'cause that's what happened when my woman, when her nephew, who's real young, probably younger than that boy, hit her on the butt. She stopped him and told him that no, you can't do that or whatever. I wasn't there, but she explained to me that that she got on him about it. Like, hey, chill, you can't do that or whatever. I don't know exactly what she said, but the fact of the matter is, it was. I mean, look, I explained the process it would take for her to recreate that scene, and that's what they did. That's a recreated scene right there that we looking at. So no, it ain't no I told him to stop. You recreated the scene.
Exactly.
It looked like a typical photo. What'd you say?
You saw his face in the picture. It looked like he knew what he was doing was wrong, but he still smiled at the camera. So she knew what she was doing.
Yeah. It was a recreated scene. All right. She said, okay, she said cut it. She said to cut it out. Should she be hanging him by the pinky toe in another photo? Jeez. Oh, and somebody came in. I don't.
That's weird. I don't know what she was talking about. It was so much, man. You know what's crazy about this? I posted it, and then they cut the comments off.
I'm trying to bring up the other one.
Yeah, so after a while, I couldn't even defend myself because they cut the comments.
All right. I think oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say some people though, some women was on board, but they came they got a lot of pushback too, so they kind of retreated a little bit. So you got this one. I think one can acknowledge the double standard. how the post wasn't the most appropriate without sexualizing the interaction or being sexist. But this lady right here, right? A mother's body has been a source of comfort for children for generations. I mean, to be honest, dads can be as well while they are still young. My son loves to lay his entire body on my husband, amongst other weird things that took us time to set boundaries with, because they are just trying to be close, comforted, and really think nothing of different body parts. I never said nothing about a child and how they interact with their parents. I was talking about the attention seeking and the sexualization of kids. What did that have to do with anything?
Right. No, well, she clearly,
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, she clearly ignoring what you said and just giving her cape for what's happening in the picture. Like that's clearly what's going on there. Like that's ridiculous. Talking about how her son loves to lay his entire body on my husband, amongst other weird things. I mean, like you can't even equate that. Like, I got sons, and yeah, I would lay down and they would lay on the couch with me, and sometimes, when they were small enough, yeah, they would lay on top of me and go to sleep while I'm laying on the couch watching TV. That was a typical thing. To try to equate that to putting a hand under the skirt and then the mother having them pose doing it for a picture is a holistically different thing. Like they clearly caping for some fuckery.
Exactly.
Educated,
Straight to
licensed. These are licensed therapists who people go to for help with various issues. I wonder how many times is there somebody that may need some help, but they're downplaying it. I just wonder. I wonder, do they keep it real behind closed doors, but just for the sake of, I don't know, the sisterhood, they got to defend her and not let everybody come at her. But behind closed doors, would they keep it real? Like I'm just trying to think. Is this like a public front? Yeah, it's like it's a weird thing going on here.
It's definitely the sisterhood, and it's definitely that they're trying to defend it and trying to combat it. Look at that. This is not sexual. What do you? I mean, from the caption and the picture, what do you mean it's not? It's just mind-boggling, man. These are and you would think, I posted this in there because I would think that the trauma of a young boy would mean something to them. Like, okay, wow, let's talk about trauma against young black boys, but a lot of them didn't get it. A lot of them just wasn't on board with it. It's not even in their mind frame. Like it just doesn't happen to men.
Mm. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to. Oh wait, hold on.
Here we go. Am I missing something? I've had 3 boys, and my youngest two due to playing particular activities or me grabbing for them have had their hand fall on me. I think she captioned her picture transparently without expectations of being judged. I have said to my son, you are being really real mannish right now. You are such a man, and then correct the behavior by saying you got to cut it out. Like I said, they're personalizing everything. Like I said, kids do that. But are you posting that? Is she posting her son doing that to her? She couldn't even logically think that, okay, he's not saying that kids don't do this. He's saying, why are you sharing it with the world?
Mm. Yeah, that's wild. That is wild.
What's this person say? I don't have kids, but I think his head and body's aligned with her thigh, not her crotch. Already blaming the kid. They think I'm blaming the kid for his behaviors. I'm not saying nothing about the kid. As for the hand understand development, I don't think it was intentional. The photo got captured as such because she's a superstar. So paparazzi just walking around and she just kind of said, okay, I'm a star. I'm going to do that. Come on now. This is
No, she posed for the picture. That was not a candid picture. You can't escape that one. It was nothing candid about that. It was nothing off the cuff. It was a pose. She was posed for the picture. If that was paparazzi, she wouldn't be posed instead and smiling back at the picture with him looking at the camera. They both looking at the camera. They both making a face for the camera. Like, no. No, 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 no,
and
no.
this is a dude. This is a dude saying this. So
Yeah.
he's just bypassing what happened with young black boys too. And he says we should be laughing, entertain ourselves with non-clinical stuff. Okay, cool. But if there's something, I think it was something important to put up there. According to him, it's not. You know.
Shout out to David Monroe. He just posted something about it was off the subject, but it relates back to it where P. Diddy, a black man worth 700 million, almost a billionaire, said something like along the lines of we need to follow the lead of women. That's what he said. That's what P. Diddy said. Yeah, P. Diddy said that in an interview with Charlemagne the God. I think he still go by Charlemagne the God or just Charlemagne. I don't know. But either way. Yeah, in a little interview with Charlemagne, he said we need to follow the lead of women. So this brother is definitely carrying that torch. He's following the lead of women here.
Wait, what wasn't they coming at him for with the lady he was kissing on the beach or something recently? Some white lady.
Yeah, he made the news for that too. I don't know which one happened first to tell you the truth, but yeah, he was in the news for
Must have kissed and make up real quick in that interview.
for kissing some Australian from some Australian model chick. Yeah, they made a big stink about it.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't even get to the end of what this dude was talking about. He said, "I don't think his intentional photo captures was such a star." Is that everyone? Okay, so he just started talking about everyone enjoy their weekend, please, because we all go back to work on Monday. Again, these type of posts approved on the weekend. We've got to take care of ourselves. We should not be laughing and entertaining ourselves with non-clinical stuff. Yeah, he's basically doing. He's making what we hear a lot in this space, the just shut up argument. That's
pretty much.
Yeah,
and it takes about 4 days to get approved in that group. So I posted like on Thursday. I think they accepted it like Saturday. So he's all talking about the weekend and all that. So you got the caption of what can be suggested by the caption is a little weird, not the picture. Okay. I mean, the picture to me is still inappropriate, but at least somebody was kind of on board. Caption appropriate, shall I say misleading. I see what you're saying. She agreed. But then you got somebody else. It's not really inappropriate. It just doesn't live up to some people's standard of acceptance, and that's fine. But to say she's seeking attention is a reach. How is that a reach?
She posted it on Instagram. How's that a reach?
She's not seeking attention? Like in your clinical mind frame, I don't understand how you don't get that's a reach.
Come on.
It's crazy. My peers. That's my take. I'm not sure she's seeking attention, but yes, everyone's standards are different. What do you mean standards? So there's a standard with sexualizing young boys, or young kids? There's a standard? I mean, what are the standards? Is there a rating system on?
Yeah. How could she use the word standard when talking about sexualizing kids?
I don't get it.
Shout out to Zero says the romper generation will fix this generation. The romper generation will fix this generation R. Oh, okay, now I see what he's saying. Generation R, generation romper. Yeah, the romper sexuals that you apparently hang out with. Your boy Romperius Jackson. I saw when you I saw you break out Romperius Jackson after somebody else came out. Romperius had to hop on the panel and celebrate. I saw that. That shit was funny. It was like it was his time to shine. Oh man, shout out to Zero. Appreciate the super chat. Be checking your email, man. I'm probably gonna send you an email after the show. I know you're scheduled busy, but I was planning on doing some afternoon stuff. I know you said you're busy in the mornings. We'll probably get together, do an afternoon show. Shout out to Complex in the building as well. He was capping hard as shit. Oh man, let me see. Let's get back on it. Did we read this one yet or no?
Nah.
Okay.
She's trying to deflect pretty much.
Yeah, some of y'all are really
I have no life.
You just gotta. What'd you say?
She tried to say I didn't have no life.
Oh wow, some of y'all are really strange. You just gotta, I think she meant analyze and diagnose. Oh no, you gotta and okay. She missed a word. You gotta and diagnose, analyze everything, huh? Woo, child is clear. Is the clearly not having a life outside of therapy for me. So wow. Yeah.
So bringing the attention to the sexualization of children is I have no life. I mean, it's crazy.
But they be in here, you know, when it's a man that's done something, they want to break down and psychoanalyze him in this therapist group. But the woman, they like, this isn't a therapy issue. This ain't got nothing to do with our practice. Let it go.
I'm telling you,
hands
matter
off.
of fact, a recent one, Bernard, the guy in Vegas that would have had his child. I guess he wouldn't break the window. Remember that?
Oh
And
yeah.
I was on board with them with that. I was going like, man, this is crazy, blah blah blah. But as soon as you bring a story about a woman doing something, ain't none of them. I mean, you got some like maybe a handful that was on board with me in this post, but most of them was just, I mean, backlash. So they were so basically, if you bring up anything against a woman being dysfunctional, they come at you. But they'll go every day with something new about black men not protecting. You know, they got that narrative too. And they'll bring that up all day. Black men not protecting, black men, this, that, and the third. And I'm sitting back like I'm a black man. Why I'm not saying nothing?
You know? Yeah. What was their clinical analysis of the situation not breaking the window with the car, or was it just the sorry ass dude fest? They just was just going off on that, or were they trying to give some kind of breakdown or a clinical analysis? Because one dude, he just tried to pull, this isn't you know, a practice issue, or this ain't nothing that got this. They tried to say that this issue that you're talking about here don't got nothing to do with anything that got anything to do with the license practice or anything that y'all should be analyzing. So were they coming from a more clinical professional perspective when they was breaking down that guy, or were they just saying that he ain't shit? Like, what was the deal?
Mixture. You had some people just calling him broke. You know, I mean, with them, they can say whatever they want. You know, they're saying he broke. Why is he got that car and can't afford to break a window, stuff like that. And then it was more of, you know, how sick he is, and you know, black men need to protect. Cause you know, it was a girl toddler. Black men need to protect black women. That stuff, and was black men, some black. They're putting out there black men are evil kind of thing, like generalizing everything. And of course, I went in the comments, and you know, I tried my best, and of course, I had some, you know, some males in the group who were coming at me. Then I had, you know, and I had the females. I was like I was a one person team.
One man army out there.
The one man army trying to stop the generalization that all black men are this and that. And I mean, they're coming at me hard. I'm surprised, like, because at one time, like I said something. I was defending black men. I don't understand how defending black men becomes hate speech and becomes now you're coming at my job. You see what I'm saying? That's what I don't get. I'm a black man. I'm defending black men. You defend black women. You defend anybody you want. Why can't I defend who I am? And at one time, I was defending black men on something, and I just got done doing a panel with a mental health panel with some associates, and one of the people emailed them my comments, and we're like, "Why are you associating with this guy right here?" And but I knew the person from college, so and in the inbox, he showed me what he sent, like, "Oh, we don't agree with what I was stating, blah, blah, blah." And he was just like, that was just something I had to say, to keep our name, good in the public or whatever. But he was like, I feel what you were saying, though. So I feel like we have to hide in some corner, and we can never just have our voice heard,
Wow. That's wild. If he felt like he couldn't speak to how he actually felt in front of the sisterhood, because he didn't. That's a punk move by him. That's real weak on his part. Yeah. Pablo Frescobar in the building. He says, Bernard, FYI, many IG and social media influencers hire a full-time photographer to follow them and take photos. So it's possible that the photo was taken in real time. Posting it is another thing. Either way, even if somebody is following them around with a camera, I mean, he had to do it, and she had to look back to he had to do it, and she had to look back and smile, and he had to look up at the camera and smile. So it was a degree, even if what you're saying is absolutely right. There's a degree of staging it. Let's get the shot, the aspect to it, is one thing. If he just reached under there and she just said, stop it, and moved his hand, it wouldn't have been that perfect of a shot where she's looking over her shoulder, smiling at the camera with him looking up at the camera. You see, it would so that's what I'm saying. It's a difference between a candid photo of just something that just so happened to get caught on camera. Y'all know how that look when somebody take a picture of you when you ain't looking, and you caught with your mouth open, you're looking all. I hate when people take a picture of me when I ain't looking. I never look right in the face. It's a weird thing. It's like, when somebody is taking a picture and they don't know they're having a picture taken of them. So whatever happened, even if it happened naturally, while it was happening, she turned, tooted her ass up, looked over her shoulder, and smiled for the camera. So it's and then posted it. So either way it go, there's no way around that. And I just lost Counselor Murray. Hopefully he'll take the link and come right on back. I'll deal with SKC's super chat while I'm waiting on him to come on back. What we got here? He says, what does these reactions? He said, what does these reactions display about the current state of Black culture, Murray? Particularly regarding family building and the protection of children. At worst, it says some sick, twisted shit takes place. That's the absolute worst. Some actual sick, twisted shit be taking place. That's the absolute worst of it. The most not so bad thing of it is just the and this is still bad, but just the overall over sexualization of children. He's doing that and she's laughing it off and posting it. So what else is she laughing off and not thinking is a big deal? When he grow up and he's being a boy and doing all kind of other shit that, doing all kind of shit too soon, which is going to lend to him possibly being somebody who, possibly impregnates somebody too soon. It's a lot of those actions and behaviors are learned, so to speak. Real quick, let me get everything back in pocket where it was, how it was. There we go. You got Counselor Murray back. Yeah, SKC dropped a super chat. You can go ahead and respond to that. I just gave my response to it. You can go ahead and respond to it as well.
Oh, no problem. I think the sisterhood got me, man. I don't know what the internet messed
Nah.
up. Nah, yeah, SKC, what's going on? I need to get with you anyway. Yeah, I mean, it definitely, the matriarchy and it kind of, there's a lot that goes on with the family building and our kids. The courts say that, the courts assume that mothers are the perfect fit for their children, but they give the nurturing, and they give the they raise and they bring them up, but there's no discipline involved when the father's not around. Like Freud was saying, that there's going to be a competition. um the boys are clingy to their mother due to obvious reasons. So a man's supposed to be there to stop that. And what that does is that can prevent the kid in the future to, not become, the sexual aggressive, sex offender. Or, I mean, if your mom's allowing you to do stuff, if you go to school, and you start grabbing little girls, underneath their dresses too, waiting for that attention and waiting for that moment to smile, or you grab your teacher the same way. What's going to happen to that little boy? You know, he's going to be charged up, not knowing exactly what's going on. So, like, the boundaries are not there in a lot of these households. And if you have a daughter, who knows, he not might touch her. If you're allowing him to do all this and not correcting it and posting it for attention, you know, he might go to somebody's house and do it to his friend's sister. You know, so you're not really protecting him because he's going out and thinking these behaviors are cute and funny and la 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 laugh laugh, and he's going out there and inappropriately touching other kids.
Well, I'm glad you said that part right there because I was just recently, well, I was looking at the 1 in 4 stat about black girls between the age of, I guess, from birth to 17. The 1 in 4 were sexually assaulted in some way. I found out that it's 1 in 4 across the board. I don't know if it's 1 in 3 with black women, but it's 1 in 4 across the board with all women in America. That was something worth pointing out whenever somebody say 1 in 3 black women are this or that or da to try to make an excuse for everything. Well, it's 1 in 4 with everybody else. So I don't know if it's 1 in 4 across the board or 1 in 3 with black or 1 in 4 with everybody else. What I also found out with that is something that I predicted, is that a high percentage of over a third of those are another kid touching another kid. Over a
Yep.
third of them. So that was something that I assumed that I turned out to be right about. And it's and when you're over the age of 16, those situations where is where they said, I forgot, I think 2/3 of them, they said it was somebody over the age between 12 and 17, and it was an adult, but it was 4 times higher once you got over the age of 16. So it's definitely an area in the middle when absolutely horrible shit is happening and it's adults doing it to kids. But a lot of it's a teenager that's over the age of 16, and with a lot of it, it's a kid being touched inappropriately in some way, shape, or form. We can, being a kid being touched inappropriately by another kid. And so, yeah, so that was something that I was, I may do some shit, may do a show on that. May need you on for that one. But I was doing some research on that the other day because I wanted to get down to the bottom of that, because whenever people bring up that 1 in 4 or 1 in 3 stat, they bring it up almost in a context that implies that a grown ass man is raping or sexually assaulting a little bitty, you know, a 9, 8 year old, like that's what it is, basically like a de facto way of saying most black men are pedophiles. That's really what some people are trying to say when they say that. But across the board, the stat is damn near the same for all races, and a lot of it is kids touching kids, and a lot of it is inappropriate shit happening to girls over 16. And we know the average age for where sex is, you know, where women or girls start being sexually active is over 16. Legal age of consent in Michigan is 16. Not
Correct.
excusing or justifying anything. I know legal age of consent in a lot of places is 16. Not excusing or justifying anything, but I'm just saying it needs to get parsed out to where, you know, somebody can't just say 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 and just try to say 25% or 33% of black men are apparently child molesters. That's how people spin that stat. So I
Yeah, you
do.
gotta say that we're most of us are pedophiles or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because being a child, I mean, being what's it called, sexual assault, whatever, is not always a pedophile. But you know, everybody's mind goes to pedophile. But I see what you're saying, though. You know,
Yeah.
you know, the age is 16, and that's a legal age. Now, is that morally right? I mean, I guess not. I mean, to most of society, it's not, but it's still legal. I mean, uh, you know, I mean, that's kind of how the laws play. I mean, some laws you don't agree with, some you don't. I mean, this one kid, I was outside of a store one day, and he was 20, and he asked me if I can buy him a, a wrap so he can, you know, roll his weed in. And you know, I'm older, so I never knew the laws changed that you got to be 21 to get tobacco now in Georgia, or is it everywhere? Do
Yeah. I
you
don't
know?
know.
Yeah, I
I
don't
know.
know. But he told me it's 21 now, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy it for you, but I didn't know the laws changed. I'm like, but you can go 18 and, you know, go to war and be on the front line, but you can't buy a cigarette. And I was like, oh, wow, crazy how the laws are.
Yeah, I heard someone make the argument that black girls and women should be excused in making you know, with in the choices that they make, you know, that where they wind up, you know, pregnant by some idiot who, you know, clearly is walking around just a walking ain't shit Negro who you could spot a mile away. She was saying, arguing that those women should be excused because before 25, your prefrontal cortex is not developed yet, so they can't be held responsible to make sound decisions in who they choose as a mate or who they get pregnant by or something like that. So we should blame the men because she said it's 35 and 38-year-old men impregnating these pre-25-year-old women. That was the argument because their prefrontal cortex is prefrontal lobe or whatever, I forgot. Prefrontal lobe is fully developed, so you got to blame them. I mean, it was so much, it was so many layers of shit going on there, like to where I was just like, whoa, the ability to try to argue away or excuse away female behavior is just is astonishing. It's
That's
astonishing.
crazy. And you said the frontal lobe. You know, the frontal lobe is what manages feelings and emotions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my thing is, right, like, women, they they pursue pleasure. Hold on, I got a phone call. Men, well, men, you know, in the past, and what men are supposed to do is pursue happiness. So pursuing pleasure and pursuing happiness are two different things. You know, on your pursuit to happiness, it's not a lot of, you know, not a lot of pleasure and fun things going on. I mean, you got to grind, some stuff you got to sacrifice, this, that, and the third, to get where you're at in life. I think women more chase pleasure. That's why they get knocked up by these no good dudes they keep talking about, because they're just chasing the pleasure. And a lot of these, you know, a woman between the ages of like 18 to 24 or whatever, pleasure equals, sometimes it's drugs and drinking, and guess who provides all that? So no good dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if,
Yeah.
if if I go to the party and you always got some type of substance, I'm gonna keep coming to that party because it's pleasure. I want pleasure, and that's kind of what feminism kind of is doing. It's like they code it as chase your happiness, but really you're just chasing pleasure. And if you chase pleasure, the end of the road will not be happiness most of the time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got these post-wall, using the manosphere jargon. You got these post-wall people who are mad and bitter because they chase pleasure their whole life. They didn't plan or chase. They didn't pursue happiness. Pursue happiness means you're gonna live a happy life. So you got to go through the um, trials and tribulations to get to happiness. It's not gonna be a happy road the whole time, and that's what some of these women don't understand. But men should understand this. But a lot of men are not understanding that because they're chasing pleasure just as much. You know.
Right. So, okay, so looks like we got some people saying some good things here, though.
Mhm.
Saying when are we going to stop forcing sexuality and adultification? I didn't know that was a word, adultification on our
Yeah.
babies. And
That's
she
a brother
says,
too.
yeah, so yeah, it looked like that's a brother. And it looked like she kept it real. She said, we need a thread where we post the place slash practices where some of these folks work. I need to know where not to refer people. Good shit. She's saying it. I was nauseous reading some of this. Hurts my heart. Um my automatic thought was trauma responses. I hope not. What do you think about that? Where he says is trauma responses? He's saying that the therapists themselves has had trauma that they haven't fully dealt with. Like what was he saying there?
I exactly believe that. Yes, their own inner trauma that they had as kids, and that's
Mm,
kind of how the responses are. And defending dysfunction with dysfunction, like I like to say. What
mm,
happened to me, so it's cool if it happens to him, pretty much.
yeah, I got over it. He can get over it. That's how a lot of people be thinking. All right. Look like another brother says, I think he's responding to you, says, Big Omi, I truly think you process this way past your intellectual mind, but imagine how much as this has happened as black single mothers have had to raise boys to men. If this was a teen, well, of course, but this is a son's love of his provider at this specific stage of his life. This is sexualization, but the good thing is that as therapists, we can have a processing moment. What is he saying here? Yo, are you there? Did they get him again? Oh, damn, he got again. So hopefully he'll take the link and come right on back. Hopefully he'll come right on back. A lot of predators are grown men and women that are police officers, teachers, doctors, pastors, and priests. There is not I think she means not a look for a pedo. That's very true. That's very true. There's apparently a percentage of people that get in certain fields that put them around children. A lot of people that wish to prey on children. They get in those fields, those areas where they're around kids. We know that's a thing. We know. I mean, even though there's more going on with the damn Catholic priest, where they practically got they got all kind of other sexual frustrated pent up issues in addition to being in a position of authority over children. But yeah, you got to keep your eye on teachers. I used to coach basketball. I'm not gonna lie. It was a couple other coaches that I side eyed. That guy who's coaching girls or coaching boys, but he don't got no kids in the program. I'm not saying that made him guilty because he probably just loved basketball and liked working with kids. I mean, some people just have a passion to coach. That's the thing. But you gotta keep your eyes open. You gotta keep your eyes open on people in certain fields where they're working with children. I was coaching basketball because I got three boys. Two of them played basketball, so that's how I got into coaching for all those years that I was coaching. So, but yeah, people get into those fields where they got authority over the people they wish to prey on. That's a perfect textbook situation. Judge Zilla says, had to raise boys to men. Do you see how he gave her the lack of agency there? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, look like we got Counselor Murray back in the building.
My
You can
bad.
go ahead and try to process this one right here. With look like a brother is saying right there.
Yeah, I took myself off that old computer, so we don't have that problem no more. So with him, I think he was trying to agree with me, but kind of smooth it out so he doesn't get backlash. Big homie, I truly think you process the way past your intellectual mind, whatever that means.
Right.
But imagine how much this has happened as Black single mothers have had to raise boys to men, giving single mothers an excuse or whatever of raising boys or whatever. If this was a teen, well, of course, that this is a son's love of his provider at this specific stage of his life. This is sexualization. So he agrees with that. But the good thing is that as therapists, we can have a processing moment. So he agreed, but then he had to clean himself up because he didn't want no action.
Yeah, he didn't want no smoke from the sisterhood. Yeah, that was clear. He clearly was punking out. Yeah, that's her baby, and there's probably nothing sexual about it. Let's not get carried away as usual. Goddamn. Woo.
Wow. So since it's her baby, we can't, really say nothing about it. So that's basically what she's saying. And just defending, the dysfunction and that men really have no. To me, it's like, okay, it's her baby. You don't really have no say. It could be. I'm thinking with her, it's mostly men should have no say of how she, what she does with the baby. And like I said, to me, that was just trying to deflect the whole situation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Got another susta in here says, I completely understand. The only person who can answer her intention and meaning of her statement of him being a boy in this particular situation is her. It is highly inappropriate. That's just ridiculous right there to say she's the only one that can say what that mean. If I say I'm going to slap somebody, I'm not the only one who can interpret what I mean by I'm going to slap somebody. Somebody else could look at that and then deduce that I'm going to slap the individual in question. But anyway,
we gotta go hunt Bernard down and ask him exactly what he meant by slapping somebody.
And by slap, what do you mean by slap? And what do you mean by somebody? Anyway, it is highly inappropriate for him to reach under her dress like that. Here comes some butt, I bet. And it should have become a teaching moment, not a photo op or justification that he is just being a boy. The gentleman posting this comparing it to a father with his daughter reaching between his crotch is also justifiable.
She's on board.
Okay. That behavior is also inappropriate. Sometimes we are quick to defend, which is subjective, when we should be objective and look at the facts. A boy's hand under his mother's dress correct the behavior, But she put a cape on at the beginning, though. She said, I completely understand the only person who can answer her intention and meaning of her statement. So yeah, she didn't fully commit to her criticism. She had to, she smoothed it over in the beginning and then, kept it real at the end.
Yeah, she did what the dude did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is just weird that
why can't you just be direct and say it's inappropriate? I mean,
yeah,
these understand.
These are, again, if anybody just coming in here, these are licensed therapists in a Black therapist group that Counselor Murry is in. These are PhDs, educated sisters who got their certifications and all of that, and they yeah, for everybody who don't know where certifications came from, that's an inside joke in this space now only. But anyway, yeah, but they got their education and their certifications and all of that, and yeah, and they still analyzing this shit is about as messed up as any random ratchet would. All right,
just a clingy toddler.
No big deal. That's what she that's what she's saying when she got people in her office. Just
oh yeah, put his hand on your privates. He's just clingy. You don't gotta do nothing. It's okay. But if a father walked in with a 5-year-old daughter trying to grab at him and all that, what do you think she gonna say?
Right. I don't think that just gonna.
She gonna report him.
Yeah, especially if he posing for a picture with it.
Yeah, because my thing is kids are clingy, so I never said nothing was wrong with what's going on. My thing was the attention. Why are you posting it? That's what my big deal was, and they started personalizing it to their own self, and I guess they just felt some type of way, and they had to, protect the sisterhood.
Yeah. Yeah, and oddly enough, if it was just a picture where he just reached under there, he wasn't looking at the camera, she wasn't looking at the camera, she didn't look like she was posing in Instagram.
Put her butt out.
Yeah, she didn't look like she was posing in Instagram model position during the picture. I would have just said it was just a random candid moment where the boy just reached up and her photographer just caught it right then and there and took the shot. That's all I would have said. And then if she posted it later, even if she would have I would have said she was wrong for posting it, but I would not have thought that negative of it if she was just saying, if she just would have if it was a genuine, candid, 100% candid moment that got caught on camera, and then she just posted and said, my boy is out of control. He acting, he think he be doing nasty stuff, whatever. It's stupid to post it, but I wouldn't have tripped. But it's the dynamic of stopping what you're doing, posing for the camera. That makes it a completely different dynamic where I got to question how long was his hand there, whether or not she told him to hold it there and keep it there, because he had to hold it there, keep it there, and look up at the camera his damn self while she posed just right looking at the camera. That part is inescapable. But thanks, Jessica X, for the super chat. Appreciate that. Well, super sticker. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming through with the contribution. And my man Ray Clemens in the building says, is it me or a lot of Black women are truly stupid and ignorant? These comments are not even coherent or logical. What the F is just empty babble. Yeah, shout out to Minister Jap. I think he calls it whole babble, or no, bimbo babble, or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, shout out to Ray Clemens for the super chat. Appreciate that. What else we got in here?
You see that's you got other stuff going on.
Let's see. Wait, hold on. Clingy toddler. Okay, she said this looks like an innocent photo. As a mother, she probably is so used to her children just being all over her that she didn't even realize. She didn't realize it, but she turned, posed, and arched her back and got an Instagram thought pose for the picture. Okay, this post is reaching. Some self-reflection needs to take place here. Not by you.
Yeah, she's talking about me.
No, she need to
I
do that
need
stuff.
self-reflection because I'm
Yeah,
calling out the dysfunction.
yeah. The caption or what can be suggested by the caption is a little weird, not the picture. Okay. Caption is inappropriate, or shall I say misleading? I see what you are saying. It's not really inappropriate. It just doesn't live up to some people's standard or
Oh yeah, we
acceptance.
read her. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's wild. That's wild.
Wait, go up real quick. Now you see the person who said, "I want to write LOL, but it's true." That was a brother. So
Oh, okay.
he's coming in there like, "Wow, this is true," but I'm not gonna put my 2 cents on this
Uh-huh.
because he not ready for that backlash.
Yeah, sisterhood got the muzzle on him. Sisterhood got the muzzle on him.
The muzzle, you right? I don't know what she's talking about there.
Somebody's aces
Aces.
are leaking out. No, I don't know what that. Somebody said, "Wow, when are we going to stop frozen sexuality?" Okay, we already read that
Oh,
one.
you
Okay,
read
looks
that
like
one.
there's some duplicates in here.
Oh,
If so, I think we might be toward the end of it. It says, "Oh wait, no, this is a whole nother thing here."
some kids.
Okay, PSBC. I don't know what that is. It even has its own acronym.
Oh, yeah, the next one will have her whole thing. I think she got cut off.
Okay, so I'll come back. I'll revisit that one
But she says she's actually on. I think she's on point with her though.
right here. As a
Yeah.
mom, we have a responsibility to our children, no matter the age, to train them right and respect their bodies and others as well. Mm-hmm.
So she got it. You know, like I said, if they're doing that to their mom at an early age and it's cute, wait till they meet your daughter. You know, at daycare. What are they gonna
Mm-hmm.
do?
Out children, huh? Out means to expose or humiliate.
Oh,
What?
she's trying to correct. I think she put out instead of hour first, so she was trying
Oh,
to correct it. Yeah.
oh, okay, okay, I got you. Please excuse the error doing too many things. Okay, got you, got you. All right, all right. Oh, no, okay, no, that ain't it.
Got a long one here.
Oh wait, no, I think we already did that one. I'm confused. Did she tell him to cut it out before celebrating it with a posted photograph with her smiling coyly? Yeah, smiling coyly, hand relaxed on his head while he's mugging a devilish little smile, indicating that it may be inappropriate, but is getting me attention. Look, if my kids reach between my legs to grab my ass, I can't remember because when I said no, I meant it and it didn't happen again. Different people find different things acceptable, but but problem child sexualized behaviors are a counseling issue. I'm glad she said it's a counseling issue. Some of them even denied that it was a counseling issue. When
Exactly.
a guardian does not socialize a child with clear boundary setting at home, NCTSN offers training in PCSB
Yeah, I
or
don't even know what those are,
CSBC.
so I gotta look that up myself.
It even has its own acronym. Okay, there, yeah. Now we see what she was talking about. Some
Yeah.
kids innocently take the dog and pony show on the road, touching the teacher or a classmate. We talked about that.
Yep. Touching
Those
the
late.
teacher or classmate.
Yep, yep,
Take the
yep.
show on the road. She absolutely right.
Now they memeing it up in here.
Yeah, now they trying to deflect it like it wasn't nothing important about it.
Yeah, I guess this is the shade room edition for therapists. Oh yeah, she trying to. Yeah,
Clearly written by a man. What?
Wow.
What does that got to do with anything? Or someone without children, based on some of the women's responses as well. So,
Oh, okay. I see where she going.
but like I said, like we keep saying, I never said nothing about his behaviors. We were talking about her behavior. No one wants to talk about that.
Well, let's see where we at. One second, because I saw Indigenous TV came through with, I believe, a super chat or super sticker. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Shout out to Indigenous TV in the building. Let's see who else. Let's see what else we got. Oh, here we're about to open this bad boy up in a little bit.
Yeah.
In their crotch between breasts. I mean, the kid's height is just right to be reaching in the places that aren't ideal.
Deflecting.
Honestly, I expect
Defending.
a post like this and some of these responses in some random goofy group, not in a group filled with therapists.
Fully disregarding the safety and the sexualization of kids right there. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't that be in that? I mean, there's some other ones in here that are real good.
No, I didn't even mean to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on, I meant to. There we go. We back. I'm gonna still drop the link. People can come up, give their responses, and ask
and
their questions and whatnot.
And just the daughter son husband dynamic. It seemed like there's an increase in that going on. I mean, we all knew about it.
It's a woman on my Facebook page that she posts. I mean, her son's a teenager, but she posts pictures with him where they look like they booed up. And I started to use it, but I didn't want to put their face on it. But I have screenshot it and thought to myself, I'm gonna send it to. I haven't done it yet, but I want to send it to somebody else in this space. Just drop it in their lap and look the other way. But I haven't done it yet because I don't want to be outing people. But it's bad. It's bad. They take pictures like they just a full blown couple.
Crazy. This guy was actually, he was actually on my side. This guy.
Yeah, I think it's saying is that Black father could not post this picture with that caption with his daughter on social media without it being a major problem. Did I get that right?
This one right here got me. When men birth babies from their bodies, they can judge till then.
That's that typical classic. He came out of my body, so I can't do no wrong by him. Anything that a mother does is okay because I gave birth to you.
Exactly.
I could hit you upside the head with a hot comb. No, ain't nothing. Don't nothing matter because you came outside. You came out of my body. I brought you in. I take you out. That's that shit right there.
Exactly. Just disregarding men being, having any authority over a child.
That is wild. One fish, two fish, ass grab you, bitch. All right, Chaos Rain, what's going on?
Shout out to Chaos.
What's good, guys? What's good?
What's up? Yeah, we can hear you.
That's Facebook. Those are the comments on Facebook.
Yeah.
They're from an actual therapist group. These are all licensed therapists.
Yeah, PhDs, licensed clinicians. This is their reaction.
If that's a group for therapists and people could join if they want perspective from a therapist, why are they up here trying to report to get therapists to lose their clientele? And no, this is a learning process to show this dysfunction. I don't get that part.
What part don't you get?
Yeah, if this is a therapist group and women are hitting up because of y'all views Well, actually, who that
No,
says.
everybody in the group is a therapist. I don't know if you understood that. It's not
Okay,
like random people coming in there to talk to therapists. No,
Nah.
everybody in the group is an actual licensed therapist.
Yeah, it's a closed group.
so how many women that are in this practitioners in that group that
Well,
have problems?
therapy and counseling is a mostly woman field, so mostly are women. I don't know the true numbers on that, but I would say 90% probably 85, 90.
And
Okay.
that's why I think men don't get the proper therapy and counseling that they need, because it's not enough men in that field, and mostly women are in that field. And so, and I mean, we can see, if we just use this as a example or microcosm, we can see how it's a lot of slanted advice. There are some women that can be objective, but far as men getting the help that they need, that is an issue. Men respond to things differently than women. I think I heard somebody talking about how soldiers coming home from war needing therapy, they got PTSD and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They have a hard time really getting the help that they need, because it's women are the ones that are the ones that they're talking to, and that she may have a perspective that just that's not really helping him. So it do need to be some more focus on men. It's almost like creating a whole new field for men counseling, giving therapy to men, 'cause there's a lot of men that need it, and I don't know if they're getting the actual help that they need. But Chaos, you look like you was building towards a question.
Well, that's what it needs to be. That means that there has to be funding for males to be in this field more, and
Yeah.
and balance it out, because a woman can only do so much in regards to actual therapy to people, but when it comes to men and the results they needed, you need an actual man for that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of groups are created by men. That's not even
Mm-hmm.
therapists, but they have these conversations to cope with certain problems. To be honest
And
with you,
go ahead.
yeah.
I was gonna say, it's very lucrative too. There's not a lot of like I said, there's not a lot of black men in the field. So once you get licensed, there's so many opportunities. I probably get a opportunity to get a job every week. But I got my own practice. I work with some agencies. I work for the crisis unit, so I'm bringing in like 4 streams of income, just because they need black male clinicians. I get referrals from women all the time who got young black men and just men in general who are looking for a man therapist. So I will get a lot of those referrals, and I do pretty well. When people think of the social work degree, they always think that people don't make money in it, but you know, uh, um, I would say it depends on, like I said, you have something. What are you doing with it? There's so many opportunities, but a lot of people don't reach out to that. A lot of people try to get one job with the government and sit on that, but nobody really wants to take that risk and go out in the private market and capitalize that way. So there's a lot of different ways to make money out here in this field, and it's a big need, especially after COVID. My clientele went up. I'm doing real well in COVID.
That's
Hmm.
interesting. That's interesting that COVID, you doing doing good in COVID. It's very few.
Well,
Well,
yeah, because people are gonna go through anxiety process. Say, "What I'm gonna do? I ain't gonna get much job. I'm unemployed. I need help." They're gonna go through certain emotions, man, and they talk some factors, man.
yeah,
How
yeah, I can see.
Exactly.
hmm
Yeah, let's see.
Well, my
We
question to lead
oh
up this is that if this is like a post that is depicting the behavior of women towards the boys, there should not be no problem, especially women are in these fields, because they know what it is, the mental aspects, the consequence of this. And they find because of them, there's no accountability, which I find it very odd and alarming that you're a practitioner and you had a problem with this.
And
yeah,
that's why I did the experiment, because I figured they would be more on board than the regular Facebook posts that I commented on. That they would see that the after effects of what she was doing, and what a lot of women are doing these days with their sons. that Oedipus complex where there's nobody there to correct it.
Mm.
Now, is this
Yes,
was it
okay.
a picture? Was this a picture breakdown of this? 'Cause I didn't see early parts of the stream. Was it a picture breakdown?
Yeah, we talked about the picture and everything.
Is there a way you
In
can
in
show the picture one more time, Bernard? Like the actual picture?
the initial picture that was in the thumbnail,
Yeah, just briefly, just one.
that's
Pull it just one more time and just take a look, one quick look.
uh,
Okay, when people come in late, they never see the picture; they see the comments. Let's take one quick look.
Mm-hmm.
And we better keep the picture up because people gotta sit there see it for themselves because visual, a thousand pictures sends a message.
that's the picture. Are you saying you didn't see this picture?
No,
Yeah, well there it is. You can see right there how they, posing like that, where I don't think it was just a candid photo, like I explained. Is that you, Chaos?
yeah. Oh, you hear something in the background?
Somebody's phone is ringing and got background noise. I think you got a ringing phone and some background noise. You got a fair point, Zero.
Oh, let me jump out and come back in. Bernard, okay, load my volume.
Yeah. SKC in the building. Somebody who I know who been here from the beginning, following along, paying attention, and know what's happening. Go ahead, SKC. You got it.
Hey, well, what's going on, Bernard? What's up, Councilman Murray?
Yeah, it's good to
Um,
see what's going on.
oh, nothing much, man. I mean, good presentation. I think it's very needed. Uh, just a good conversation overall. I just had a few questions, man. So far as in the comments that you were showing earlier,
Mm-hmm.
there seemed to be a lack of objectivity, even when these individuals are professionally trained to be. Why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, and when I was going through the comments too, I thought the same thing, and I believe it was just emotionally responses to what I posted. A lot of them, I think they took it personal. I mean, in some of the comments, you can see that we didn't get to them yet, but they said that I was attacking Black women, and I'm just like, I didn't even say nothing about Black women in the original post. So, what do you mean I'm attacking? I'm just posting something directly, which I felt was dysfunctional, and seeing if what you guys' responses would be to it. And they just went subjectively around the whole subject, trying to defend her actions. So I think it was a more, and they're supposed to be, trained clinicians who are now, you're not supposed to let your emotionals or your values, or you're not supposed to impose your own emotional values on, certain subjects, especially abuse, when it comes to children being abused. Or I'm not saying Angela was abusing a child, but what I'm saying is it looked like the way she did it was sexualized, and we can't just throw it underneath the rug and think that nobody didn't spot that. So I think it was more of a defense mechanism for them to go around logic.
Do you think that since many of them were unable to give an objective viewpoint, um, online regarding an image, that possibly they may not be able to be objective in a clinical setting as well?
That's a good question. That's a real question, because we're trained to not impose our feelings and our our ideologies on our clients, because you can cause harm. That's one of the first things you learn when it comes to ethics with doing therapy, is you're not supposed to cause harm. So I would say I really don't know how they do their sessions because everybody's different, and I agree that you should be able to have a space where you're not a therapist because everybody's not at work all day, and that's kind of how I took it when I was battling them because when I'm in comment section sometimes they always say, how are you a therapist? You think this way, and I'm like, well, I'm not always in therapist mode, just like somebody at McDonald's is not frying fries 24 hours. I can have my own opinion, but
Yeah.
I would say that some of them, I believe some of them post about their bashing black men post. I would say that might enter into some of their sessions with some people. So some of them, I believe, are probably not fit for it. I mean, if you can't, like you said, if you can't understand the dysfunction of that picture, how are you a clinician?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I was wondering that because like I understand the point of where a person can say, hey, you have to give everyone an opportunity to separate themselves from their profession, in certain settings and so forth. However, if I'm not mistaken, you said that group is centered on their profession, right?
Yep.
So it seems like in those comments that these individuals would be giving their objective viewpoints based upon their professional training.
Exactly. And that's what I assumed when I posted in there. I thought I was going to have a more clinical discussion instead of defense or defending of what was going on. Because when I made comments in the regular Facebook post, to me, I wasn't dealing with clinicians or people who probably are not knowledgeable about the trauma or the dysfunction that what her actions were doing. So I figured if I go in this group and I post it, they will agree with me. And I even gave them the vice versa. If it was what got me is I gave them the vice versa. If it was a father and a daughter, he would be burned at the stake the next day, and obviously that didn't even work. It's mind-boggling to me.
Well, SKC, you know that a therapist can speak and do things outside of their practice because you know full well that a therapist can also be a neo soul R&B singer.
Oh boy! See! I tried to be good.
So
I tried to be good. And you tried to pull me into this, man.
So you know that a therapist can step outside of his practice and do other things. So you know that.
Good example right there, Bernard.
Well, I'm gonna be really good with this one, Bernard. Like in that case, and I'm just giving just as a professional in every spectrum. I think that everybody should be able to kind of let their hair down and do whatever they want so far as their profession at certain times. But the problem that I have is as soon as the individual states, based upon my professional experience, blah, 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 then at that point, it's like, okay, you should start to behave according to the ethics of your profession.
Correct. I agree with that.
It's sort of like the well, I don't know if this is a good example or not. I used to watch a lot of Bill Maher. He would make a lot of good points, and then sometimes he would say some crazy shit. And then when a month later he's called on his crazy shit, he will go back to, hey, I'm a comedian. It's like he automatically has an out where he's making where he's I'm being a serious political commentator right now. You call me on something, I was just being a comedian. Don't hold me to it. So it is. So therapists will end up in that situation where they're speaking as a professional in one breath, and then the next sentence they're just speaking as just regular, just Joe person giving commentary off the cuff. And since I brought him up, shout out to D Darrell. Go if y'all haven't watched the video, go over there, watch it, give him the view, hit the like button. Don't hate on the brother.
She the baby.
And I mean that too. Go over there and watch it. Go over there, give them the view. Hey, I acknowledge that the work that it takes to put together a music video, and yeah, it takes work. I acknowledge the brothers' work and effort in doing so. So anyway, moving right along, Perfect Storm in the building with a super chat. I appreciate that. And my man DJ Nap came through. He said this speaks truth to the conversation we had last week. Women first or black first? Women will always defend other women regardless of race.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
That's an interesting point.
You know, Counselor Murray, look, I was asking that question earlier about the family situation. I would think that a lot of the therapists or counselors that were in your group have to sometimes counsel families and in various situations. Do you think that a lot that some of those counselors are able to actually help Black families?
I think I know a lot of people. I've dealt with some great therapists, and I dealt with some, some who are not too great. So, it kind of depends on that. Now, when it comes to, I would say a lot of it depends because, if you're not familiar with our, culture or a lot of families who I do therapy for, they low income in the hood. Socioeconomic status is low. If you're not familiar with those, you're not going to do nothing. Your therapeutic interventions will not work for them because you're coming off what you learn in school and you're coming off book stuff. And one thing, these families, they're not used to the jargon you're going to be spitting out when you're sitting there in those sessions. You got to be able to be familiar with them. And my thing is a lot of times though, if I'm training a clinician and they've never really lived, in these neighborhoods, they come out of school with a big heart, which I understand. You got a big heart and you want to help, but sometimes the helping turns into enabling. Some of these families and some of these kids that they counsel could be very manipulative because they know that you don't understand the culture. Because when I go in a household, they're not gonna bullshit. They're not gonna BS me because I know I'm familiar with what's going on. But some of these new clinicians, they come out, they got their, they're very green, and we call them green. So when they go in there, they're giving them all these sob stories and manipulating the clinician. The clinician's feeling sorry for them, and after that, they kind of they're not helping no more. They're just giving excuses.
That opens up a whole nother question for me, because let's say, and I'm not trying to put a knock on the individual. I'm just asking according to your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Let's say if a newbie or an individual that's hard ingrained in like some type of I would say viewpoint. Let's say like the pro-Black thing.
Yeah.
Could a licensed counselor go into different situations dealing with Black people and because of their hard set viewpoint on certain matters get manipulated?
Man, it happens all the time. I'm telling you. And you got, the most of it's them, and it's most of the time the white liberal. They want to help. They want to become counselors, and they want to go into the neighborhoods and help as much as they can. But they end up getting the bad end of the stick too. They'll get manipulated. They might get robbed at the store because they in the neighborhood and they're out handing out flyers like we're trying to help and do this, that, and the third. But they don't know how to move. Like, you're going out there with all this book smart, but you got zero street smarts. You know what I mean? So they can be manipulated just as much. The white liberal and the pro black, because they want to help so bad. And I understand you want to help, but you gotta know how to move too. You know, when you're giving out this type of therapy, most of them would do better if they kind of did their own private practice and sat in the office. Community therapy is different than sitting in the office and somebody drive to your office and you sit one on one with them. We actually have to go in these neighborhoods, sit down with these families, and try to help them. So they definitely can be.
Interesting.
Yeah, we got Judge Zilla in the building, who I know is coming in with a straight face and no sarcasm. I'm just playing. What's up, Judge?
I gotta go grab my other face.
I'm just playing. No. Bring whatever face you walk in. Whatever face you came through the door wearing. Go ahead and wear it.
So I'm gonna pose a hypothetical.
Okay.
And I posted in the chat earlier. I wonder if she would have used the same caption for him using flashcards with his addition, subtraction, or words, alphabet, because he's such a boy, right? Because instead of exacerbating the oft repeated black male sexuality, if she would have encouraged that black male intellectuality the same way.
Wow.
I'm just curious. I mean, what would you based on what we were able to garner from the picture, the comments, and the commentary? Well, I'm curious as to what your gentleman's read of the situation might be.
Well, I'll say this before I pass it to Counselor Murray. I remember I was watching it was a woman who I was watching I used to listen to all kind of podcasts about all kinds of shit. I'm not going to get into what the overall general topic of the podcast was about, but I remember a woman, she was talking about the differences in men and women, and she said she jokingly used to say, "I have a boy brain," and what she meant by that is that she was really good at math and science, basically stuff that that men are typically better at or just more interested in. She was more interested in that. She was like a mathematician. She would jokingly say that she has a boy brain. So doing math is a behavior that's associated with being a boy. Boys are typically better at it. So it's interesting when you say, I don't even think it's a blip on the radar in our culture that men are supposed to. I didn't know it. I remember one time, put it like this: I was at the gas station one time, and I forgot what happened. The cash register wasn't quite working just right, so they had to calculate how much change you had to come up with. And I don't even think I'm all that good at math. But when she had got confused trying to figure out how much she owed me, I just real quickly just spit it out there. And it was a white lady, and she was like, men are always so good at math, because she just couldn't. It was kind of complex because she had to take something off because it was something that I was going to buy, and I changed my mind on this and changed my mind on that. It was a lot of steps in the equation that I was able to quickly just spit it right out. And she was like, "Oh, boys are so good at math." It's like in our culture, we don't even think like that. That's a boy behavior or a man behavior to be good at math. So it's interesting when you say that. If he would have been doing math, let's say she would have posted a video or a picture or something of him kicking ass above his grade level in math, would she had if she would have posted that, I don't even think our culture would have even understood what she meant by "he's such a boy."
Putting together Legos, solving a jigsaw puzzle.
Wow, you're right.
No, I wouldn't humble bragging, Jessica. Get out of there. Get out of there. You the queen of the humble brag. Don't make me get started on you.
Right. At 5 years old, there's so many things, right, that he could be doing that way. Like I said, with the flashcards, putting together a jigsaw puzzle, trying to assemble Legos in a manner that looks like the picture that's in front of him. Right. Or even the possibility of trying to follow the laid out, made for a 5-year handbook that they give you with Legos. Right. Any of those things, he's such a boy.
but she focuses on this thing, right? Number one, we'll say the sexual aspect, but the number two aspect of it, right? When we get past it, the mama's boy aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Do
kind of
you?
telling too, Judge, that the lady in question that posted this is not some woman that did not have advantages in life.
Mm-hmm.
She had all the advantages of life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And Judge, you're absolutely right. The the exploiting the sexual uh aggressiveness of black men, and she's a big time influencer. So once you put that, and she does it, you're just kind of, keeping the narrative going. And then next thing you know, you got Me Too movements trying to shun men for their behaviors, but you got, like you said, these mama boys who I mean, I've heard plenty of women, some woman posted the other day that's on my timeline, her son with his like 6-pack and abs and all that, and she's like, look at my handsome son, and this, that, and the third. And I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, he's gonna get all the girls when he goes to college, something like that. I'm like, okay, so you complain about dudes doing this stuff, but you kind of push them to do it anyway. It's kind of unproductive to me.
What
Yeah,
y'all think about
it
with
doesn't come off like the right. It's somehow or another, and I don't know what this is, right? But when it happens with our mothers, it doesn't come off quite the same way as it comes off with Jewish mothers when they tell them they're the most beautifulest, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's something different about it.
say that again, Judge? I was
Jewish mothers are famous for that too, right? Oh, they're always my boy is the most handsomest boy. It's a running trope, right?
mhm.
That they're always on their boys like that in currency. It just comes off different
Well, no,
because
you can say handsome, but
you understand what I'm saying? Yeah,
yeah, you can't call him sexy. You said she showed a picture of his 6-pack.
Yeah, his abs and his muscles and stuff.
Yeah, that's a different thing. I mean, you could say you could say your son is handsome, just like a dad can say his daughter is beautiful or she's so
right.
pretty, or she say that, but you can't say something. You can't be like, "Ooh, look at that shape." You know,
Yeah.
she got a nice shape on her. That small waist. You see them curves? He can't
Yeah.
he can't be like that with his daughter. But no.
That's what I'm saying. Like they try to equate it to that, but it's not that. I'm like, no, because again, and I think I put this in response to somebody. I had an English professor that said this: the spoken and it's a pun, right? But it has a shallow meaning and it has a deep meaning, right? The spoken language, the spoken word and the written word expose volumes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a shallow meaning to that, and then there's a much deeper meaning to that.
Yeah. What do y'all think about what Jalen Roddy saying? Shout out to Jalen Roddy. Thank you for the super chat. He says this proves the emasculation of black men starts early. I'm not sure if I'm seeing emasculation in this, but what do y'all think on that?
I think that it's a very good point. You go
Okay.
ahead, Murray. You're the guest.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I was I'm good. Now I was just saying, I see his point. Like, it wasn't related to the picture, but I do see his point that the boys are being brought up to not only, I mean, they're being brought up to worship, the female. I mean, of course you care and you love your woman, but they're coming up as if like they're kamikaze kind of drones, like they're raised to service the female pretty much. That's the word, service, with like service animals to them. I don't know if that's a reach or that's a radical statement, but I mean, you're brought up, you're told, to be a service, when it comes sexually, when it comes providing this, that, and the third. And some of these, some of the women kind of use kids just for housing, and and you know, just to get on some government programs, and then they get once they turn 18, they can't benefit, they get kicked out, and they never learn nothing. But I can see what you're saying, the emasculation, because you're pretty much becoming mama's boys, and they're not really being taught how to be a man to go out there in the world and conquer. They're just being taught how to survive. You know, as long as you got a roof over your head, and no matter what kind of means that you got it from, you're good. What about conquering the world? What about building legacy, building wealth, doing more? You know, what men should be on. You know, if that
Yeah,
answers
yeah.
some of that.
I think
Womp, womp, womp. SKC, I think you borged out real quick.
Like
Brian,
I think a perfect response. I think a perfect response for this from our part would be have him, I don't know, have him. Not that she can afford it, right?
mhm.
Same out, have her wear the same outfit, have her stand in front of him, right?
Mhm.
Suited up with a bow tie, long tie, whatever, right? And boy being he's such a boy, just looking strong, looking shoulders back, head high, chin
Oh
up.
yeah, yeah.
You
Oh,
know what I
Okay, I
mean?
see what
okay.
you're saying.
Yeah,
You know
that'd
what
Yeah,
I'm
be
you
saying?
nice.
said have
Like,
him dress,
yeah,
yeah.
in front of her. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, again, from a marketing perspective, if you look
I
at
was
this picture, if you look at that picture from a marketing perspective, all you see are bad tropes. That's all you see is bad. You see him
you
hiding behind
actually
her.
you actually onto something. That would
Mhm.
be pretty cool if he's such a boy or whatever she says got hashtagged and people post picture of their young black boy doing something that's boy related but positive. Like we talked about the math thing. You just gave another
Yeah,
Yep.
example. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That's a good way to turn a negative into a positive. So I like where your mind go on that. That's pretty damn cool. Brian Tobert in the building with a super chat. He says, so they raise their boys to be the men they hate. Yep, that
Exactly.
tends to happen. Shout out to you. I keep forgetting to go buy a bow tie. I told you I was gonna rock a bow tie one of these days. I keep forgetting to buy one. But I got you. I got you. It's coming. It's coming. Azrael6394 says Angela's baby father was a con artist and scammer. That boy was doomed before birth. Genetics matter. I will say that as somebody who's raised a stepson, genetics matter. No matter how much he behaves completely different. I mean, he's grown now. He behaves completely different. My oldest biological son is 17. Two completely different people, but grew up in the same house. Is weird. Genetics matter. He acts more similar to his dad than what he does to what I tried to raise him to be. It's weird. Genetics matter. Okay, there are many Antoine Fishers in the black community, unfortunately. Um,
Facts.
yeah, yeah.
Jack Nickelback just put a comment in there that was really poetic. He says this: "It is they are raising their sons in the image of manhood as they see it, not as manhood is, mistaking the shadow for the beast." In a sense,
Mm.
I think that was
Damn,
pretty poetic.
that's real.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like goes right along with what Roddy was saying so far as effeminate or not effeminate, emasculate. Because I mean, the term can mean weakening or causing something or someone to be less effective. And I mean, just sorry, it's like those type of images. You're teaching your son to be less effective as a man in the world as he grows up. Because if he continues to do things like that, he's gonna fall into a bunch of pit holes, and it's gonna make his life much harder than what it needs to be.
Well, shout out to Detective Nameless Protagonist here. He says, my issue with the Angela pic is the person in the reflection of the glass taking the picture. I did not notice that. I've been sitting here thinking, who took
Mhm.
that damn picture? But he's on the job. I'm about to pull the picture back up and look at the reflection in the glass. There's a level of compliance that goes along with the situation. I
See,
got
I'm,
That's
I'm of
true.
the belief of the other person who said that professional. I think it was Pablo. said, professional photographer. Following, I guess that's kind of who she is. So I mean, I think there's always a camera in and around for her to be able to do stuff like this because she's a media influencer. So
That's crazy.
I mean, you can see people's reflection. I can't really see anybody exactly taking a picture. I just wonder, was it a guy? Was it a girl? Was it, those are the things that I wonder when I'm looking at it.
I have to actually go make these donuts, gentlemen. Thanks for having me up, Bernard.
You said make donuts?
Yeah, get to work.
Well, before you
time. I gotta get down to the bottom of this. You just making donuts just for yourself, just for your own. You just bake like that. That's like homemade donuts.
Oh well, I do, but that's not exactly what I'm doing right now. But
it's not exactly. Okay, what are you doing right now? I'm curious.
I'm working on prototyping. I had to on the advice of somebody. Morning Blue is the truth, not listens the truth. I had to reimagine my product in a better format. So I'm working on prototyping.
So these are not actual donuts?
No.
Okay. You just don't strike me as just a donut baker. I just couldn't see it. Couldn't see it.
I do make donuts though. I mean, I have.
Okay. Interesting. Just interesting.
Before you leave, Judge, just a quick question. So I'm guessing that you won't be making the Bust Down Academy Little League shirts.
Well, I mean, the Little League, the Little League's underfunded now. And the boys, the Boy Scouts are defunded and don't exist anymore. So, and there's a connotation for, I have to get enough women together that'll actually support me being able to, get my endorsements on the soccer teams and lacrosse teams and softball teams.
Okay.
It shouldn't be hard though.
All right. All right. Thanks, Judge. Thanks for coming up. All right. Oh shit. Where we at? SKC just dropped down again. We got Fatal Dose the stage in the building. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Hey, just on that Judge Zilla donut comment, Bernard, you're not old enough to know what it means. That's what it is. No. In the 80s, there was a Dunkin' Donut commercial where the guy would get up at like 4 a.m. and he's tired going, time to make the donuts, got to get to work. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
So making donuts refer to getting to work. But
how old are you?
I'm 46, man.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I was born in '82, so I was just too young to see that commercial. So yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, I'm 83, but I knew what making the donuts meant though.
Yeah, see, it's possible I saw it, just forgot, or heard the reference, just forgot about it. All of that is very possible, but who knows? But anyway, what you got on the subject, Fatal Dose?
So I'm a father of 3 boys, right? Mm-hmm. And not once in my recollection, when my boys were young, their mother ever came to me and said, one of them grabbed me in the crotch or inappropriately. Because when the father's around and you have that energy flowing, the boys are straightened up. They know you're there to teach them. Not just that, but they can see what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. They know that's mommy. Mommy shouldn't be touched a certain way. They never, besides when they were nursing, once they stopped nursing, they never try to grab her breasts or her butt or anything like that. This is a reflection of the fact that there's no father around to teach the boy how to be a man. I
don't know about that one, because like I said before, how my woman, her nephew, I can't remember if she said he hit her on the butt or he like took off running and ran his face right into her butt like that. I think she said something like that has happened twice, and his dad is around, and they and so it's a his mom and dad are married, so shit can happen. It's just the reaction to it after the fact.
Right.
But go ahead, Constable Murray. You can.
I'm gonna say I agree with Fatal though. I agree that not having the father around, because the father is supposed Be the
There we go.
competition of what Freud was saying. The father's supposed to be the one that causes the conflict to correct that behavior. So if you don't have a father around, then there's no competition, and the little boy is gonna just pretty much do exactly what they want now, especially if the mom's not correcting behavior and think it's cute, you know.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
and what I meant by that, it's not that these things won't happen even accidentally.
Yeah.
It's just that when you have a father and you have morals and you have people that are trying to raise the children right, the incident of that is less. And with your baby, with your, I guess your baby, the babysitter, it might have been a situation where the boy was thought he was trying to be playful, right? Not necessarily anything malicious or malevolent on his part, but when a mother is taking actual photos of this and glorifying it,
Oh
that
yeah.
shows you this is what the child's being trained to become. And to the other brother's point, it does emasculate them and make them. A lot of people think when a man's emasculated and is effeminate, it's just that they have female behavioral traits, but a lot of traits of black men are like the anger, all of the fighting, and all of that is actually them being effeminized as well, because they can't control their emotions. They don't know what it's like to be a man. So all of that's going to impact this kid in the future, being raised by a mother like that.
Right.
Exactly.
Gotcha. All right. Let me see. Shit. Get back over there. Yeah, because I didn't even have the screen up. I have no idea where we at on the likes, but they should be awesome because we've been on the air almost 3 hours. So yeah, we got more likes than views. So thank you to everybody who's hit the like button so far. Appreciate that. Everybody who's hit the super chat so far. I'm trying to find a good comment. Nameless normally got something good to say. That'll probably be the next thing we'll bounce off of. He said there is a ton of influence to that. Kids are busy doing to, oh yeah, we talked about that earlier. Kids are busy doing to other kids what adults who abuse them do, which is a whole domino effect. I'm glad Bernard has a therapist up here to show the normalized.
Yep.
Hey, can I say something on the therapist side? A number of years ago, I saw a documentary on YouTube by a guy called the Church Militant. YouTube killed his channel since, but what he did was a breakdown on how we went from kids coming home from college in the 60s, telling their parents that they were gay, and their parents disowning them, to where it's widely acceptable today. And he talked about there were books written by prominent homosexuals that said that they were going to invade the counseling practice, whether psychologists, psychiatrists, to the point where they affect and reclassify homosexuality in the DSM. And looking at that brought me back to this, because I'm looking at a bunch of women who are now supposed to be counseling people, but they're pushing the dysfunction that they're supposed to be drawing out of these people to make them functional human beings. And this could also be one of those. I'm not saying there's like a feminist conspiracy per se, but you could see and draw a parallel to where women were pushed into these professions just to create that impact. In fact, I was thinking about Kevin Samuels telling women to get therapy. Imagine a woman going to one of these women for therapy.
Yeah.
They're going to come back out just as screwed up as they went in. So the fact that that practice is so infested with this type of people with this mentality is detrimental to society.
Damn. Yeah, that's a trip. That's a trip. Even when somebody is leading somebody to therapy, what are they leading them to nowadays?
Yeah.
You know. Well, okay. Well, shit. Constable Murray, I guess a good question. Like when it comes to therapists, like how much is it I don't know. I mean, it's kind of an odd question because it's like a practice where it seems as if a lot of it is just at the discretion of the therapist and what they think and what they feel or how they process it. I'm not like is it checks and balances against that? Like that actual therapist, I'm sure they have to have a clean bill of mental health that they damn self, but they still can be a very biased person led by their own, got their own set of insecurities and personality hiccups. They damn self trying to counsel somebody else. It's like, is there any check and balance against, therapists out there just giving people bad advice? I mean, like, what's the deal with that? Like,
yeah, as a therapist, we're not even supposed to, we don't give out advice.
oh yeah,
That's
that's
not
right,
our
that's
thing.
right.
We guide people to healthy decisions through different techniques and interventions. But you got therapists who do give out advice. I mean, that's why we got to do ethical training every single year. It's crazy because every year during ethical training we have to do classes on why you shouldn't have sex with your client. And I'm always, in the beginning of my profession, I was always like, who's having sex with their clients? But every year, people
And then
lose
and then the room got real quiet. Everybody like
every year, there's clinicians who get their license snatched because they had sex with a client. So I'm like, okay, I understand why we have this every year. But yeah, there's checks, balances, there's boards. They do a lot of quality insurance where they call the client and ask ask about sessions, stuff like that. The insurance companies do their own checks and balances. So I mean, one of the first I guess you call it a rule in the ethical book is to not project your values and your beliefs on your client due to I think I said it before, due to causing harm. So we're not supposed to be doing this. I don't know. I don't really know the percentage of people who do it. I'm sure some do. I mean, you got a lot of you got some Christian therapists that I'm sure they're.
I was just about to say that. I know damn well it's Christians who be leading people down a religious path, and that person could be not religious at all. And yeah, I've seen that. Like I know that happens. I used to so yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Karen.
Hey, Bernard. On the real though, some of these women need Jesus.
Yeah, but man, you gotta keep all the Jesus-y stuff out of it when you're trying to counsel
Yeah.
somebody.
You
You
can't.
could be just giving them another crutch for their problems. You don't know how they're going to respond to the religion. So yeah, you can't do that.
But
But
yeah,
go ahead.
going off of what Fatal said, I have no problem with LGBT. They're pretty powerful too, so I ain't gonna say nothing bad. They try to come for my license next. But the homosexuality was definitely a mental health disorder all the way up to the 80s, like he was saying. Like they really had therapeutic interventions. They had physical therapeutic interventions
Yeah,
where
it was
they'll
shock therapy, all kind of shit, right?
yeah, they'll lock you in a room and do all types of stuff to try to fix the homosexuality. They had medicine for it, all type of stuff. So I'm gonna say so like he said, they were able to get it where it's not a mental health disorder anymore. Gender identity is a mental health disorder. It might still be to this day. I don't know. I got to check the DSM-5.
Well, they'll be getting
Still,
Oh yeah, they're gonna get rid of it
real soon.
Yeah,
yeah,
and you know
it's
what?
gender dysphoria, but I guess it's going to be going out the door soon.
Yeah, we know that's
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep.
They winning that battle. We know they get that victory.
Yeah, that's over with.
Yeah.
You can't diagnose with that anymore. But when it comes to people made a lot of money back in the day, calling themselves I forgot what the name of the interventions was called with homosexuality, but a lot of families paid a lot of money to send their kid to these specialists over like 6 months to a year type camps to try to get the homosexuality out of them. So
To pray the gay away, pray it
yeah,
away.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's
I've
a lot of
heard,
issues with that.
and that shit never works because, and you know it never work because what all it end up being is that the person is still gay. They still have the sexual attraction for the same sex. They're just actively making a decision not to engage in it. Just like I still crave chocolate. Somebody mute up Fatal Dose, or I don't know who that. Somebody got background. One of y'all got background. For example, I still crave chocolate ice cream. I kind of stay away from it because I'm lactose intolerant. It ain't good for me, and it's hard to shake hamburgers and French fries, but I can give up the sweet stuff. That's where I can, but I still crave it. I'm still somebody who's attracted to chocolate ice cream. It looks good. I know it tastes good. I just make a decision not to engage. That's the most that stuff can do. That person is still actually a walking homosexual. They're still attracted. They don't go nowhere. They end up like the one dude. I'm not gay no more. That's what they. I've been delivered. Yeah. They end up like homeboy that's been delivered. Yeah. They just turn into him.
Oh,
they still clearly gay, but they can make a conscious decision that they struggle with to just not engage in the gay behavior. Like I just make the conscious decision to not eat ice cream. That even though I still want it.
And I believe people are born gay, but I do believe the sexual abuse turns a lot of people gay too.
Yeah,
sexual encounters, men and women.
Yeah, I've always said I think people are born that way, but I think there are some people that have a certain propensity for it. And if they are abused as a child, if they are sexually abused as a child, it can trigger it. But I still do think people are what they are. Like that was a fight that people that was against gay people. That was a fight that I'm like, y'all not gonna win that one. It's like ain't nobody being socially engineered to take one up to what. Like no, you can't socially engineer that. If somebody is trying to take one up the butt, they were born that way. I'm sorry. You ain't just talking into it.
No. Can I throw something out there? There's a documentary called the Kinsey Syndrome. Before you put a definite pin on that, check out that documentary. That's all I'm going to say. It's called the Kinsey Syndrome, and it's hosted by Chris Pinto. But to your point, though, right, and to the point Councilor Murry was.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry?
I want to know what point do they make in that documentary you're referring to?
Oh, so it actually goes through the history of Alfred Kinsey and the sexual revolution and the psychology behind pushing sexualizing people in the 60s and how they knew what the results were going to be, what the outcome was going to be. So the idea that everyone who's homosexual was born like that may not be entirely accurate, because the people that were pushing it understood that human beings are visual creatures, and if you push something to them and make it acceptable, that they would essentially, so you'd have some people that would lean towards that behavior. Those of weaker mind and that could be swayed will lean towards that behavior.
Yeah, so. But isn't it probably more likely that the number of gay people throughout history has probably been static? The only difference is whether or not the society is okay with it or not okay with it. If the society is liberal towards it or hard against it, because like if you get shunned for it or just shamed for it, you're not going to come out, even if you're bi. Or let's just say if you're bi, if you're in a society that's open-minded to it, you're going to go, you're not going to have a problem going that way. I think that's all that happened with the sexual revolution, that society became open-minded and welcoming to it. And then more people that otherwise would have been in the closet decided, whoo, I can go be free. I can be me now. I think that's more than likely what happened than grown people were just turned to the dark side. I don't
Right. That would
chasing pleasure.
that would have been the case if 40-year-old men were just jumping out of nowhere saying I'm homosexual, but that's not what's happening, right? It's mostly younger children who are younger children. I'm talking about teens and early 20s who are very um, uh, who could be easily influenced that are making these decisions, right? So you don't have an epidemic of 50-year-olds jumping out and say, you know what, I was gay all my life, I'm free now.
Well, some of them are
So
doing it, but it's a different thing. Everybody in their social peer group at 50
mhm,
was born in an era when it wasn't okay. So that person has it in his mind that it's not okay. I can't be, he still will be looked down on by his people. But the 15-year-old, like my son, he talk about in school how many people are out of the closet. It's ridiculous,
right, these are kids
They
that
grew up in the world that said it's okay.
Yeah.
So
mhm,
I
right,
understand,
and that's the point I'm making.
I understand your point. Your point is the world saying it's okay causes them to do it. What
Right.
I'm saying is they would have been what they would have been anyway. The world saying it's okay only makes a difference of whether or not they're going to come out the closet or not, whether or not they're going to be happy and accept who they are and be free and open about it. It's going to make
Mhm,
the difference of whether they're going to lie about who they are or not lie about who they are. I
mhm.
think that's what it is. I don't know, Councilor Murray. I mean, I'm gonna go back to you, Pedro. I want to get Councilor Murray to weigh in on this one. You there?
Oh yeah.
Council's like, I'm not about to get my license taken.
Oh, yeah.
You talking about what you were just talking about?
Yeah. Go ahead and weigh on what we were just talking about right there.
I was gonna say that'd be a good research project actually. Like you said, society has made it more open. I mean, I went to a high school when before COVID hit, and there was this tall transgender male to female walking around, and it was just I just never when I was in high school I would never think I would see anything like it. So it was kind of like the society more open to it, so more people are just coming out, or like Fatal said, is just more acceptable, so people want to experiment more. And I would say, the stages, the psychosexual stages. I mean, if you get stuck in one of those stages, like the phallus stage, you're gonna chase pleasure, and whatever arouses you, no matter if a boy's doing it, a girl's doing it, and it's accepted too. I just think a lot of this free spirited pursue pleasure, but they call it pursue happiness. But to me, you're just trying to be pleasure 24/7. It's just more acceptable these days. So that'd be a good
Mhm,
research project. But both of them kind of make sense. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, and on that point as well, right? You got to go back in history and look at Roman and Greek society, where the entire
Mm-hmm.
society was homosexual. So how could that be where you have an entire society?
The entire society. That was the society, like I said before, that
Right.
they were open minded to it. They didn't shun it. You weren't going to get stoned for it. So they
Yeah.
had a
Mhm.
lot of people that was out. But
Yeah.
Right, and that's
you would argue that because they were open and accepting of it and experimenting with it, that just made it to where people were just socially engineered into doing it.
right,
But if it wasn't in
Yeah.
front of them, they wouldn't do it.
right, and that's
it's hard to say which is which. I tend
mhm,
to lean towards people are what they are. It's
mhm,
a lot of gay people that have stated right around the time when everybody else started noticing that they liked the opposite sex. That's around the time they start noticing they like the same sex. But then there's was that person molested factor and all of that.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It just my
mhm.
Trauma
inclination.
can change a lot of things, man.
Yeah,
Trauma can change a lot of things.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
interesting.
that brings us back full circle to that picture, right? Where the kid now, as a child, is touching his mother. Now, when he grows up to become an adult, will the reverse um, be wrong to him? Will he look at another child and say, I shouldn't touch that child, or justify in his mind, well, I was touching my mother when I was younger and she was okay with it. What's wrong with touching a child? So you could be raising a generation of pedophiles by doing that. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Can I answer, Mr.
Go ahead.
Bucket?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Mr. Bucket. Or whoever Bucket 88 is. I get what you're saying, right? Okay, now if you say nobody is born gay, it's a choice, right? So that means you have to say nobody's born straight. You see what I'm saying? So that was a choice. So Mr. Bucket, did you ever think about being gay? And did you have to make a choice later on in life to become straight? That's what I'm saying. You get my question, Bernard?
You just say that again, because I was reading Azrael's super chat. I didn't. And he said, well, first off, he said, yet again, Bernard skips my super chat. Trust me, I don't do that on purpose. It was a complete accident somehow. But anyway, I did go and find it. But let's go ahead and deal with Bucket 88. I think I said his name right. Let's deal with what Bucket 88 said. And then let's go let's deal with that. So what did you say in response to Bucket 88? Go ahead and lay that on me again.
Yeah, Bucket 88 was saying that you're not born gay, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's switch the question. You're not born straight then. So Bucket 88, was there a time when you thought you was gay and you experimented, then you made a choice you was straight? You know, that whole argument, you can always flip it, you know, and it, to me, I never had a thought of even thinking about, you know, being gay. So it wasn't a choice. It's just something that was wired into me, you know? And like I said, some people might experience trauma that can change that wiring.
You said you never had a thought of thinking that you were straight?
No, I just knew.
Okay, you misspoke, and I think you said gay when you meant to say straight. So I just wanted to straighten that out. You are a straight heterosexual man, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure we got that right before. You would have got clipped. You would have got clipped.
Hey, I think. I don't believe I made a choice to be straight, though.
Yeah, but that speaks to what Azrael is saying. He says, how can you be born gay when your reproductive organs don't fully develop until a few years before puberty? Effeminate, yes. Homosexual, I think not. Go ahead. What's your response to that?
How can you be born gay? What?
I think.
Okay, so he's saying, I think he was saying the same thing, kind of what Bucket was saying, right?
Well, okay. Well, this is the part that pops out to me. He says, "How can you be born gay when your reproductive organs don't fully develop until a few years before puberty? Before puberty, why would your reproductive organs determine whether or not you're attracted to the same sex or the opposite sex?"
Okay, so can I jump on that?
Yeah.
All right. So this is where you're now leaving the realm of science, right? Because science, there's no such thing as a gay gene. It hasn't been discovered. So we can't say somebody is born homosexual or heterosexual, right?
Well,
there's
real quick. It doesn't. That's a misconception. It doesn't have to be an exact gene. I don't think. I've heard somebody explain, a scientist actually explain it like this. Like, we can look at, there are things with gay people that we can trace, that they can collect electrodes to the brain of a gay person, or there's a certain amount of, I don't know, fucking pH balance. Who the hell knows? I forgot how he explained it. But there are things you can look at that are more prevalent with gay people. Like, they basically, they were able to take doctors, they were able to show the scientists somebody's I don't know, level of testosterone, pH balance, or whatever the hell the scientific terms were, I forgot. And they were able to look at that and predict at over 90%, just looking at somebody on paper, gay, looking at them on paper, gay, straight, gay, straight. You know, they were able to do that. So it's no exact, when people say there's no exact specific gene for race, or there's no gay gene, there's no race gene, there's no this, I think that's layman talk, saying that there has to be a specific gene. It's normally a multitude of different factors and or genes that make up something. There's no one magic bullet gene, but carry
Believe
on
it or
what you were saying. Go ahead.
believe it or not, you just made my point for me, Bernard.
Oh, go ahead.
So what I was going to is that there's no genes, that it's all based on chemicals that are in the brain, and you can stimulate those chemicals by the social structure that you're in, right? So for example, you could be a guy that's tired and not interested in sex, and then you accidentally hit the remote. All you want to do is go to sleep. All of a sudden you hit the remote, and Debbie Does Dallas pops up on the TV, and all of a sudden you want some because you've stimulated those chemicals that drives that part of you that makes you want to do that. Now, the only question is, how are those chemicals being stimulated, and what images are being portrayed to you, and what are the things that you're being told to indoctrinate you into your belief system? And if you're being told that, hey, it's okay to be gay, and you have, especially with women, I find that a lot among Black women who complain that there's no good Black men. They push this quite a bit. And if you're a man and you're seeing the women or the men around you being mistreated by women, and you're seeing women getting away with murder, and you don't have a dad in the house to show you how to be a man, chances are you're going to grow up thinking, you know what, I want to be like mommy, rather than having a father that you want to grow up to be like. And being like mommy also means that, hey, mommy have a string of dudes coming in and plowing her through the week. I need to do the same thing. And it's all mental. So while a gene hasn't been discovered that proves sexuality, we do know that there are ways that you can manipulate someone into doing things, and there's chemicals and endorphins. Sex releases endorphins that's at the level of cocaine in your brain. So it's an addiction itself.
Yeah, I think that you do have to have a propensity for it. I think that's probably the best way to say. Like, for example, there are some things, straight things, but fetishy nonetheless, things that I didn't know I was into until I saw it in porn. And I was like, what the hell? Why is she doing? Oh. Okay, I think I'm into that. But I had no idea until I saw it. At first, I was like, I know damn well they not. Okay, I can rock with that. But so I think it is a certain propensity that may be lying dormant. So that's where I can agree with you. Some people may have a certain propensity towards being gay. It may be just lying dormant. And then you take that and then you add that to the culture that's open-minded and accepting of it, and putting, men or women kissing women on TV and men kissing men on TV.
Yeah.
And that can make that person just smooth over into it and not even realize it. But if you take that off of the TV and you take the culture, you take it out of the culture, you make it, you build a culture where it's not accepting of that, what will end up happening is that less people, it will trigger or alert or hit the on switch, so to speak, for less people. That's where we can definitely meet in the middle. But I think there still will be a percentage, because there's some people that I know that turned out to be gay that have said that, look, on the playground, right around the time when girls start saying this boy is cute or that boy is cute, this girl, she literally said that that's the same time she was looking at girls like, this girl is cute, that girl is cute, and just had some type of sexual attraction. Not sexual is wrong word, because kids ain't having sex. Whatever the attraction is called, when a boy on the playground is attracted to a girl, gay people normally report that they had the similar type of attraction to the same sex, when everybody else was having that type of attraction to the opposite sex. So I think it's still, if the society shunned it completely, there would still be miserable people in the closet, scared to go ahead and be free and live a life. And that's where I'm very liberal. I don't like a society that promotes it. I don't like the over the top gay agenda where they trying to have, transgender
TV
men
shows
who think that they're women in the damn locker room with women and girls. Like, that's where they've got on some complete bullshit. But I do want someone who's actually gay, who wants to be with somebody of the same sex. I do want them to go and be out of the closet, happy and free over there somewhere, and just go do it. Like that, I want them to go ahead and just do whatever the hell they want to do. That's just freedom. It's fucked up, but it's freedom. Go be free and live whatever life you want to live. I do believe in that. That's why I didn't even care that I wasn't a huge supporter of gay marriage, but my position was I don't give a shit. That was my actual position.
Yeah.
And then I agree with you, right? Because you look at societies, close societies, like let's take a country like Iran, for example, where they'll if you're convicted, if you're caught riding the Hershey lane, you'll be taken to a roof of a building and tossed
throw you off.
down to your death. You still have dudes doing it, right? But so the question isn't really whether or not the attraction wouldn't exist if society wasn't promoting it. My concerns are the level that it exists today. Is it really organic or is it artificially being pumped up? Right. One. And two, even in a society where it's not promoted, while you do have people that are doing it, right? It's not. It's while we can say it's not a gene, but it's also not the natural order of creatures on this planet, right? The goal, when you look at every creature on this planet, it's male, female, male, female, male, female. Only, in fact, there was a study, I can't remember the name of the study, but a study was shown that only in captivity do animals revert to that. So when like if you have two male lions in a cage, one of them may become dominant after a few years and start doing that to the other, right? But they never do that in their natural state. Right. So then the question becomes, what is it the natural state of human beings to be that way? Right. Yeah. And I'm not saying the answer is no, yes or no, but that's a question we really need to ask when every other animal who have the same brain structure, the same chemicals, the same, I mean, heck, the field mice have 96% of our DNA, right? So but we have to ask ourselves whether or not this is the natural order or is it something that's unnatural, and why is it happening?
I was gonna say, I think it's a big gray area, when it comes to that. I think you name factors on both sides. I don't think it's black and white. I think it's a mixture, a cocktail of all that. What you said, with the increases of of gay people and stuff like that. I think it's a big mixture of everything.
Yeah, I just typed in gay mammals. It's funny what you find, because I know you said that they won't do it in their natural state, but I've thought that it was the case that it's a lot of animals that be gaying it up. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's not something that I research every day, but I did stumble. Holy shit, they got a list. Yes, a lot of animals on this list that do gay shit. I mean, look, right, I'm down with just it's not natural. I mean, I get it. It ain't. I mean, it happens in nature, but at the same time, it ain't natural. So it. No child can be reproduced from it. I mean, if you just want to just simply say it's wrong, it's wrong. But I mean,
and with the list of
country, people got their right to be wrong. I mean, it is what it is. They just shouldn't be just. I don't like the agenda. That's what I like. That's where I'm at with it. I just don't like the agenda. I think that we can have a healthy understanding that most people are straight. There's going to be a small percentage of people that are gay, and that just is what it is. Let them be gay. Leave them alone. I mean, that's a simple solution for me.
And it turned from, and I'm with you there, right? It's the whole idea about, okay, we want to do what we want to do. Okay, you're a grown adult. You want to do what you want to do. Go do it. But why do you have tranny reading hours for kindergartners? Why are you teaching this to 5-year-olds? Well,
you don't have to teach it. If it's natural, you don't have to teach it. The only thing that they should legitimately want, okay, is to not get. I mean, to be able to get married, so they can go be miserable like all other married people. But so they should have their right to get married, and other than that, and just not be I don't know, persecuted. The gay kid in middle school or high school need to not get beat up just for being gay. Okay, that's pretty much it. It shouldn't be nothing else after that. They should just want to get married and not get their ass kicked. And
Hey,
it should
hey,
be
I got, I got my
no more conversation after that.
Hey, I got my ass kicked for not speaking English and being funny looking from a different country. I didn't start a whole movement.
Right. Yeah. But you are right
Oh,
to
man.
not want to get your ass kicked for that. And if people in that same situation was getting their ass kicked at a higher rate, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, we should not get our ass kicked for being who or what we are. That's fair. Like, that's when I was like, that's when I used to not argue on behalf of gay people, but then that's when I would say, people are being, homophobic or bigots when you're just when at the early stages of gay people trying to fight for their rights. I'm just saying it was like all they want is just not get their ass kicked they want to get their ass kicked less, and they want to be able to get married. That's reasonable. Tranny reading time for toddlers, okay, unreasonable. That's when I can't support y'all shit no more. I can't, y'all lost a potential ally with that shit.
I'm about to duck and hide from y'all, man.
Yeah, I was like, I'm done. I'm through. I can't.
They got their radar on me.
Yeah.
He's a counselor. Look at him. Let's go get him.
Hey, Counselor
Jeff,
Murray, do your little thing right now and say that the opinions expressed in this.
I'm not on the clock right now. I'm not on the clock.
It's like, these ain't my opinions. That's these fools.
The Bernard, whatever stayed on the Bernard Riley show, it's not my opinion.
Yeah, we got to get a disclaimer. Got to write out a disclaimer thing. Al Boogie says, "Y'all wild with the pussy talk." Hey, well, I don't know how we stumbled into that. We was I don't know. We just stumbled into it by accident. How did the first humans know what sex was? Really? Okay, if you believe, I'll entertain this. If you believe in the Adam and Eve creation story, then I guess you would think that they were sitting there. He was looking at her junk and she was looking at his junk and trying to figure out why are they different. But if you accept evolution, then that becomes a silly question, because it's hard to separate the first Homo sapien from the last Homo erectus. So the Homo erectus had to be fucking to get to the point to where they evolved into Homo sapiens, and then so it turns into a weird thing. Sex was happening at the microbial level billions of years ago.
Oh yeah, the amoebas started all that.
No, when multi-celled organisms start fusing with other multi-celled organisms, that was essentially sex. They were swapping DNA to make a better multi-celled organism with the genetic material of both of the different organisms, so they could survive better because they had more genes. They had a better variant of genes. So that was essentially sex right there. The swapping of DNA between two organisms. The exchange. Yeah.
And that's a good point, right? And when we forget the reason for sex is procreation, right? Because the one thing I like to point out to people is the amount of sex we're having today, we're oversexed. You think about the 200 years ago, 300 years ago, if people were having that many kids, the planet would have been overpopulated already. Right, because there was no contraceptive. These people would have been, every 9 months they would have had children, right? And from the time a woman is fertile till the time she's infertile, could have popped out 15 kids each, and we didn't see that happening.
Well, that's because we take for granted the advances of medical science and technology. Like, it was a time, years ago when the mother surviving the birth, the chance of that was low. The infant mortality rate was really high. So everybody who got to have an actual successful pregnancy and then a successful raising and nursing of the child. Like, I mean, I don't know if you got kids, if you ever watched a woman try to successfully breastfeed a kid, it's actually very difficult. I don't know how they did it before breast pumps, like before you
Yeah.
could like pump that milk out, and the baby don't always like, you could pump all day and only just get just like that much breast milk. So it make you even wonder, what is the baby even getting when he's sucking on the nipple? It's like, it's a weird thing. So yeah, the babies was dying left and right. Mothers was dying during giving birth. I mean, the human head in the birth canal. I mean, it's all kind of factors in the equation why the population just didn't blow up. We can't look at all these modern day successful pregnancies and then do math based on that. We got to account for mamas dying and babies dying during birth. So
right, and I'm accounting for that, right? I'm accounting for the babies. Even with that, right? Let's say you 2 out of every 3 pregnancies were successful. Even with that, right?
Probably
Let's say
like
there was 15.
Probably less than that, but go ahead.
All right, so let's say 1 out of 3. If you had if you had 15 pregnancies, you would have had 5 kids. We don't see that in history. We see people 5 kids and more. 5 kids or more was very rare, right? People were having 3, 4 kids. Unless you were very rich, you didn't have that many kids.
How far back in history are you going?
I've looked at but most of the history that I have are based off of historical figures and people that were around at that time from books that I've read. So that's what I'm going at. I haven't actually sat down and done a full analysis of it. But based on what I've read, people weren't having that many children. And contrary to popular opinion, it's not every woman that had difficulties today, right? It's like you think about today, women who are not even taking care of themselves during their pregnancy will go and have a fine kid, a kid that's fine, right? So we got to look at that factor. So while we do have vitamins they can take, we do understand how to save a woman from dying during pregnancy. The numbers do not match what they're telling us. When they say women would die during childbirth, that doesn't jive, because we would have a large number of the same thing happening today and we would have to save them. But that's not what's happening. We have 1 or 2 women who are going through this, and because of medical technology, now we're able to save them. It's not the plurality of them that's experiencing this. All right. The human race wouldn't survive if it was most women that was going through this.
Rosemaster 1 says, no, Adam and Eve we're told to be fruitful and multiply, not be fruity.
It wasn't Adam and Steve, it was Adam and Eve.
Opinions and discussion. Oh, and while we at it, dang, I meant to should have did this when it was more people in here. I gotta drop you a link, man. Drop it so people can go sub to you, Consular Murray. My bad.
True. I gotta put more content on there, man. I've been trying. I'm gonna start
either way soon. As soon as you start getting it in, long as they'll be there and ready to go. So I'm trying to figure out how to get to your channel. If I could pull it up, let's see if there's a moderator who a little quicker with the trigger that can get him before I do. I think I got it. All right, nope, I got it. But y'all still feel free to go ahead and spam the chat with it. Y'all go subscribe to Counselor Murray. He just dropped a nice little 50 piece on me. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Definitely appreciate that. Y'all go make sure y'all sub to the brother. Be doing the Lord's work out there. Doing the Lord's work out there. We need more brothers like him in that field.
Yes, sir. It's lucrative. Just gotta know the right people. Come in this field.
Actually, I wouldn't even have thought that it was lucrative though. That's cool though. I'm glad it is. Fatal Dose, you was about to say something?
I was just gonna say thanks for having me on. I'm gonna have to drop off now.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Thanks for coming on up.
Thanks for coming on, sir.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I think I'm blaming you for us having all this bussy talk that we was doing.
Yeah, he the one that brought it up, right?
I'm blaming you.
No, it's Bernard fault, because I was just drawing a parallel, and he just went into like the explain this to me, you know.
Nah, that's just all you. You came up here to talk about pussies. That was your fault. Anyway,
All right, thanks, man.
thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah, Bernard. I'm gonna say it's lucrative. I've cleared over 6 figures probably 4 years in a row.
Okay.
With all
Hey,
the stuff I got going on. So I mean, you just gotta have that hustle mentality. I mean, there's a lot of growth, and there's a lot of grants being pushed, and mental health is definitely a lot of lobbyists with the politicians. I think even Trump said something about mental health after some mass shooting happened, and he's trying to get some funds out there for more counseling. So it's definitely coming up.
All right. Yeah, next time I have a show, if the views get popping, you can always drop your link in there, and I'll if I see it, I'll tell people to go and subscribe to you. I meant to do it when we had more people in here, but either way.
Talking about pussy. Oh man.
Yeah, that was. I mean, listen, it's a weird thing though. In this, what I noticed with black people is like especially black men, it's like we can't even try to have a sensible conversation about it, or you can get accused of being gay. Like that happened on this show where we was debating. I don't know how we got on this. It wasn't the subject of the show. It was just casually mentioned that somebody said that there's no such thing as bisexual. And I said, wait a minute, that's by definition. Bi means two. So if you're attracted to two different sexes, you're bisexual. But somebody was arguing that there's no such thing as bisexual. You're just either gay or you're not. But I'm like, no. So it turned into a semantic war. But at the end of the day, everybody who was on my side of it got caught, got accused of some shit. But like, come on, man. But that happens when black people just too, just too. Listen, it's like we can't even have a sensible conversation. Now, just to be clear, boy that came out. No, I'm not saying that we need to be open-minded. There's no room in the black manosphere for that shit.
Oh yeah.
But no, I ain't with that shit. Don't get it twisted. Ain't no room for.
I think somebody said it was a mature conversation. It was.
Yeah.
It was just we were just discussing different factors on why the increase of homosexuality might be up. That was it.
I mean, it kind of tied into and related to the sexualization of children, because when kids are sexualized or sexually assaulted, it increases the probability that they may have some type of alternative sexual lifestyle of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it kind of segued into that. But I apologize for the bussy talk. I apologize.
People. And that's why it's so important to protect the children. A traumatic event, like if a young boy might get touched by another man and likes it, maybe later on in life he might just like men because of what happened to him when he was younger, and vice versa.
Sister George, is anybody disputing that point? If he sleeps with a man, he's gay.
Yikes!
Is anybody disputing that?
I'm trying
to catch up in the chat to see if anybody disputed that. I think everybody agrees with that one.
Hey, Sister George, unlike women, men we can't have phases. Women they turn gay. Like, well, I was going through a phase.
Yeah. That is true. Women,
we don't do phases.
yeah. Women are pretty damn fluid.
Yeah, they like, if it's trendy, they gonna do it. Like, okay, being gay is trendy. Okay,
yeah, we don't
jump on it.
Yeah, we don't just get like 3 shots in us and all of a sudden we making out with our friend at the bar. Like, no, that's not our thing. But I think some are genuinely attracted to both. Yeah, clearly, and that's another reason why I say I'm good with gay people being out of the closet. Just come out, state wear a flag, put a sign, put a mark on your forehead. Let everybody know. That's where I'm at with it. Let everybody know.
Exactly.
You said he's bisexual if he's attracted to men. I think so. This is a weird thing. If you are attracted to the opposite sex, that's what makes you gay. When you say that you're only gay if you're having sex, if you're attracted to the same sex, that's what makes you gay. When you say you're only gay if you're engaging in sex with the same sex. Then we run into some goofy territory. That's how boy that been delivered could turn around. That's how he could turn around and say, "I'm not gay no more because he haven't had sex with a man in the last week. I'm not having sex with men no more. I'm straight. No, your ass is still gay."
Yep.
So that's why you can't just say if you're engaging in sex with another man, you're gay, because that's hell. If I'm not mistaken, I think Poke Progressive, as they called him, did that. He said, "No, I'm not gay no more. I've been delivered. I don't have sex with men no more." But then it turned out that he just a week ago or 3 days ago was engaged in some kind of activity. So you've been delivered. You've been delivered for 72 hours. So that's why, So yeah. So you can't say, hold on, yeah, because you're saying that I said that he's bisexual if he is attracted to men. Yes. If you're sexually attracted to the same sex, and you're also sexually attracted to the opposite sex, you're bisexual. Even if you only have sex with the opposite sex, the mere fact that you're attracted to the same sex, yes, that makes you bisexual. You're just choosing not to engage in it. Just like I still crave chocolate ice cream, I just choose not to eat it because I'm lactose intolerant and don't want to be fat. It's the attraction or desire for chocolate ice cream has not went nowhere. But anyway, that's my analysis of that. All right, we about to wrap this bad boy up and get the hell up on out of here, man. I gotta thank you for coming back again. Did a great show. He said Bussy Powers activate.
Oh man, I don't know how we got into that combo, man.
Man, it's segued into it. I don't believe you can truly turn off your attraction. I don't either. That's the point that I'm making.
That's true.
Once you're attracted, you're always gonna be attracted. You just have you can get to the point to where you make a conscious decision not to engage, but your ass is still gay. You're just making a tough decision to not indulge in something that you actually want to do. But anyway, we about to ride up out of here. Ty City in the building, late to the party. He said a lot of weird shit lately. Get out of there, Ty City. Get out of there. Bernard got John Travolta staying alive jacket.
Shout out to Silent, man.
Really? I gotta go check that. I gotta go check it out. I didn't know that. Shit. I probably did damn good then. I did good. Let me see what's going on. Zero back in here. See what Zero said on the web. He said, "Why do you have to use chocolate ice cream?" Because it's a real example. I struggle with that one. Like I've been delivered. I've been delivered from chocolate ice cream, but I still want it. So it's a perfect example.
Oh man.
All right, man. I'm about to hit the end stream button. Thanks for the super chat, Zero. You had to make sure I saw that. All right, y'all.